Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Friday Night Football. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Collingwood coming out of the Richmond rooms here at the MCG. Michael Malthouse deciding that the coach's box on this side of the ground is the one that he prefers. So the Maggies coming out of the rooms that the Tigers know oh so well, and they're in the away rooms coming out from underneath the great Southern Stand here at the MCG. It's an absolutely perfect night. We've got a very good crowd, probably in the vicinity of 55 or 60,000 fans here to see these two great rivals in the AFL going head-to-head. I'm talking about Collingwood and Richmond. It should be an absolute beauty. Both sides have been in very good form in recent times. In fact, you've only got to look at their third quarters last week. Collingwood embarrassed the hapless Bulldogs. They voted 10 goals too, and Richmond weren't far behind in their third quarter effort, kicking 8 goals 3. Currently, they're sitting 4th and 7th, respectively, on the ladder. Nice to welcome former Hawthorn champion goal sneak Jason Dunstall with us once again. Jace, we were there at Colonial last week to see that, I guess we'd call it an embarrassing third quarter for the Doggies.
It was quite unbelievable. The sort of third quarter that would have warmed the hearts of Collingwood supporters across the country, no doubt. They were just absolutely unbelievable. In actual fact, if you look at their first 3 weeks of the season, their conversion rate from their inside 50 opportunities have improved quite markedly, round by round, up to 35% against the Bulldogs last week. And I dare say if they can repeat an impressive statistic like that once again tonight, they will win the game.
Yes, you talk about their conversion too. You look at some of the long goals, Tarrant and Buckley in particular.
Well, look, it's quite amazing. All of a sudden we're talking about a forward line that has increased potency because they're not limited by the 50-metre attacking zone. All of a sudden we've got players like Tarrant who kicked 4 of his 5 goals from close to 50 metres last week. Buckley can kick them from inside 60. You've got Anthony Rocker, another option. So it just gives them a little bit more firepower, doesn't it?
Let's have a look at the Collingwood lineup. A late change we won't be surprised at because we saw Stephen McKee limp off with a broken wing last week, and there was no way known he was going to take his place in the side. But it's interesting, they have replaced a tall with a small. Young Leon Davis coming into the lineup.
It just means that Josh Fraser will have to do a lot more of the ruck work tonight. Mind you, the thing that impressed me the most about Collingwood last week was the multi-pronged forward line. I mean, they just had so many options. Molloy, Chris Tarrant, Anthony Rocker, Josh Fraser, they'll probably alternate at centre-half forward and in the ruck. It just gives them more options than they've possibly had over the last few years. Mind you, the back line's playing pretty well as well. I mean, Marc Hutchison was great last week, and James Clement has been a bit of a surprise packet.
It's not a bad-looking outfit, and here is a young man making his debut. And for all our viewers in Tasmania, I know are watching tonight, this is young Danny Roach, spent time in the Tassie Mariners, and he's at last got his chance at senior level for Collingwood. We say good luck to Danny Roach coming into the Collingwood lineup tonight. Big night for him.
Well, it certainly is, and what better stage to do it than in front of 60-odd thousand here at the MCG.
But if they're going to win tonight, Collingwood, they've got to tame the Tiger midfield now. Bowden and Tivendale in particular in recent times have been very good.
Well, probably the most pleasing thing from a Tigers point of view, you look at players like Bowden and Tivendale that really jumped into the thick of things last week. 62 touches between the two of them, and all of a sudden it's taken that midfield reliance off Knights, Campbell and Daffy that they've sort of had to basically put up with for the last few years. A few more strings to the bow, a little bit more flexibility, and it certainly gives them much greater options.
Well, let's have a look at the Richmond lineup. Coming back in is Brad Ottens, and he's going to certainly be welcome back.
Well, that's a big plus for them to start with, and we spoke about Collingwood's forward line. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with the Tigers' back line either. The Kellaway brothers, 2 of the most uncharitable defenders you would find in the competition. Darren Gaspar just does a job on a key forward every week. Rory Hilton, he's getting plenty of the ball, as is Leon Cameron, and in particular, Leon sets the ball up very well, uses it particularly well, and he's been a huge plus since coming over from the Bulldogs. And of course, they've got their tools up forward. I mean, you look at Ben Holland and Matthew Richardson. There was a bit of a query over him earlier, Sandy, but we did see him out there warming up, and he has, in actual fact, come out on the ground. So that's the most pleasing thing. Even though he didn't get through a training session yesterday, they decided to rest him and save him for tonight. But he'll need to kick some goals if they're going to win tonight.
Well, I think they're just keeping him in cotton wool, being a short week. And there's young Leon Davis coming into the Collingwood lineup. Keep an eye out too, Tiger fans. Ray Hall is an exciting youngster, and Aaron Fiora, who played in the Carrion-Aracourt League too. And Nathan Buckley, the big question is, how many possessions will he get tonight?
He's had a slow start of the season, hasn't he, said?
Been a battle. He's going to pass, I think, over 100 kicks tonight and do it relatively easily. That is for the season. He's averaging something like over 30 a game. And Rocker too will be looking for a big game tonight. We're going to take a break. It's going to be a big game, and I hope you can enjoy it here on 7. It's the Collingwood lineup up against the mighty yellow and black, the Tigers. Welcome back. It's a great sight, isn't it? Friday night, the MCG, absolutely perfect weather conditions and a big crowd too. You look at certain areas of these stands, for example, the Ponsford stand, and there you can see it there. They have opened the gates to let viewers into the Ponsford stand. That tells you that there is a big crowd in attendance. And amongst the crowd, in fact, with us is another former Hawthorn champion. The brown and gold is with us in force tonight, Dermott Brereton. Dermy, welcome to you.
Good evening, Sandy. How are you? And also good evening, Jason.
Oh, Dermott.
How are you?
Oh, very good. Looking forward to an enthralling clash tonight. Yeah.
This will be a great game.
Should be a beauty. And down on the boundary line with all the latest news, Craig Hutchison. Welcome, Hutchie.
Yes, thanks, Sandy. A bit chilly down here, but certainly a fantastic atmosphere around the ground as both sides ran on. The crowd still streaming in, as you mentioned. Coming off for the Magpies to start the game, both Davises. Leon, of course, just in the side, and Nick, Batheris and Dimartino, so they've gone in tall to start with. While for the Tigers, Dragicevic, Fiora, Broderick and Bitterscombe. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Hutchie. Wayne Campbell, skipper of the Tigers. Duncan Kellaway there with him too. Smacker Gale. And on already, Richardson and Waitland. Just completing their introductions. Great night for football. Two sides that have opened the season in enthusiastic fashion. So here we go, the opening bounce. Collingwood and Richmond as round 4 gets underway. Gale doing the ruck work in the middle. Buckley again gets first clean possession. A long kick up towards Molloy. The D9 couldn't take it cleanly. Already the Tiger defence being tested, and they're going to be tested tonight too. Cuts it across towards the half back line. Controlled pretty well. Pushed up by Gale towards right half forward. Richardson come a long way out. Not going to get a possession here though. Collingwood has it through Johnson. He's on centre wing, Ben Johnson. Gets caught, tries to get away again towards Lucuria. He's taken over the line. And we've got a throw in on centre wing.
Already saw, Sandy, that when the ball came to that half-forward line and Richardson missed it, Collingwood had 3 spare players by themselves, so Mick Malthouse intent on freeing up players across the half-back line to run forward with.
Ray Hall, incidentally, on Josh Fraser at the moment, as Campbell kicks the Tigers down towards the half-forward line. Waitland gives it away to Loney. He's been pretty effective in the last couple of weeks. So too is Clement. Starting at his new club, Collingwood looked good once again as they drifted up to the half-forward line. That's a poor kick, and it's Darren Gaspar. No one on the mark, so Gaspar's got a little bit of time and space. Lucuria at the back. Won't get a chance. Rocker is there to give him assistance. Waitland again, penetrating pass. Lucuria on the outer side. Collingwood looking to continue with that confident game they produced last week. Molloy used his strength, gives it off towards Lucuria again. Collingwood going to attack. Fraser's at the back, won't get a chance here. Taken towards the line, and it's Kellaway who makes a few metres, and it's over for a throw-in.
Always enjoyable to watch Molloy get involved in the play. Jarrod Molloy just attacks it, attacks the player that's coming at him as well, and always manages to get the ball out of a pack situation.
Fraser and Gale going at it. There's Ray Hall. Leon Cameron.
Richmond made a change already, Sandy. So Big Holland comes off and Bitterscombe runs straight on.
Smacker Gale. What a grand player he's been for the Tigers. In towards the centre, and O'Brien beaten by Kellaway. Marc is going to be paid to Andrew Kellaway, coming off a wonderful season. Kick, interesting. Clement, the hand pass, okay. Collingwood out of trouble again. Here's O'Brien on the outer side. Gets clear. Short pass in towards the forward line. He was after Tarrant. He's not going to find him. But at the moment, Collingwood doing the bulk of the attacking. This is Leon Cameron, approaching a major milestone in his career. Chopped off by Rintoul. He's been pretty good in recent weeks, and the kick is a good one. Finding Brodie Holland. Holland puts Collingwood inside 50 once again. They're doing the bulk of the attacking. Free ball. A chance to go once more. Centering kick in towards half forward. Gale will use the body. Campbell was there also. Campbell got a hand to it. That was all. By gee, they're under pressure early, Richmond. But here comes the skipper, standing firm. Campbell's kick up towards half forward. Wakeland recovered well, gets clear of Richardson, gives out the hand pass, will take it back again on centre wing. Hilton at the back, may come out the back door. He does, picks himself up, gets a hurried kick, but it's a long kick up towards half forward. Loney needs the boundary line. Richardson needs assistance, and he comes away towards half back, towards Buckley and co. Down in front was Danny Roach. He gets his first sniff, and Buckley gives him an encouraging pat on the buttock. Don't forget, if you'd like the opportunity of chatting online with some of the players, in fact, former premiership player Ben Allen, who's now on Seven's commentary team, you can do that on i7. Just check the address again, i7sport.com.au. You've written that down, Jason?
Certainly, Sandy.
Hilton on centre wing. Still no score on the board, and it's been a fairly frantic opening.
Both teams pumping their defence full of players as well.
Chaffey
Touched off the boot.
So we'll play on. Maybe the opportunity there for Rogers. Goes to ground. At the back is Tivendale. Round the body! On the very last line of defence. Well, I think he thought he might have had it for a moment. Not to be. Holland to clear again. To the outer side, James Clement. Clement up towards centre wing. Jarrod Molloy. Buckley trying to set it up further downfield. Buckley wants Josh Fraser. Too far out in front of the big man, and it's taken over the line in the right forward pocket. 5 minutes and no score.
Both teams just a little guilty of overusing the ball in the early stages. They've got to play the percentages, drive it long and direct.
Fraser growing in maturity with every game. That's a poor throw-in. Gaspar appeared to have an eternity. Now Torney does well to get the hand pass away. Ricocheted away from Tivendale. The Johnson hand pass. Well, it finishes with Tarrant. Short little chip. Going to be okay. Here they go now in towards Buckley. Fraction too high. He will go again. Over towards O'Brien. O'Brien to shoot for goal. First one in the leg. Shane O'Brien.
Well, Brodie Holland's had 2 kicks inside forward 50 so far, which means he's getting free. The bad news is, on both occasions, he's missed the target. He had the kick out here on this side, which missed his target by some 10 metres. This time, at least he got it to the pack, but Buckley was able to work up, put a fairly strong body over it, and just carry the tackle out to O'Brien with the hands, and he did the rest for him. Good support running and good strength by Buckley.
Sixteenth career goal for Shane O'Brien. So the Maggies on the board. Out of the middle. Knights working hard. Battles to half forward, but only as far as Prestigiacomo.
Hilton's actually moved to centre half forward, and at the start of that bounce down, he tried to open it up and he ran to the wing, and he wouldn't be moved. Prestigiacomo, he stayed there.
That's a good mark. Running full tilt and taking it above the eyes. Josh Fraser, the kick coming from Loney. Fraser in 2 minds, eventually decides to go long. Where are the Rovers waiting down? Here's Holland again, and O'Brien and Molloy. They're all there.
Oh, he's paid it too high.
Hines got a free kick. And won't he like that so early on in the night?
Well, they probably looked at him, Jason, thought there's only one way to take him down, and that's unfairly.
There's always a tendency when you do tackle a big player to jump up and catch them high for some reason. And you just see how strong he's here. He just attacks it. He's trying to shepherd there. And then in the end...
He's kicked the goal, boys. He's got their second.
I'd still like to have a look at that tackle from a couple of different angles, because it looked like he ducked as he was tackled, and I don't know if the Richmond defender wasn't a little bit unlucky in having the free kick paid, although look, he's holding his face.
One thing you can say, he was making the play.
Oh, he certainly was. Brodie Holland got the handball out.
He's half shrugged that up there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a play on, but look, he is making the play, so if the umpires are consistent with that, you'll wear it all night.
Pleasing start for Michael Malthouse. A couple of early goals. Gale again, contesting in the middle. Can they win it out of the centre? Locked up on Campbell by new boy, Danny Roach. Good to see him getting his chance. Rocker beaten by Gale. Down towards half forward. Now here's an opportunity for Joel Bowden. Gives it away to Knights. He should score from here, although it will test him from 55. Goes in towards the forward line. Hilton is lurking there. Behind is conceded.
I'll tell you what, he's done particularly well, Shane Wakely, in the first 3 or 4 physical contests he's had with Matthew Richardson. He's fighting hard to hold front position, and whilst a couple of the kicks haven't exactly been to the advantage of Richardson, very good for his confidence, Wakeland, because it is a big job playing on someone like Matthew Richardson.
Have a look at Collingwood bunch down the centre there and then break wide, and Richmond didn't put out a zone. They just circled that bunch of Collingwood players, and now they just try and ring them and go out with them.
Didn't break with much conviction, the Collingwood players.
No. It's worked for them, though. They've had to have somebody come down from the half-forward flank, though.
Freeborn towards centre wing. Rintoul been pretty good, Jason, since we've seen him in the last couple of weeks. Up towards Fraser. Spent a bit of time jostling there with Ray Hall.
Yeah, it's out of bounds.
Ball's out of bounds. They've got to have a throw in.
Yep.
And my word, this crowd has continued to build up. Very, very healthy now. Well in excess of 60,000. So the throw in with Fraser in front. He gets a fist to it to slap it out the back. He wanted Tarkin Lockyer or someone like that going past. Instead it was Knights. Spears it back in towards the middle. And it's taken by Hilton. You've got to go back over the mark, Rory. A little enthusiastic, a little keen to get away. The boy from Wodonga, who's done very well. Now he's called to play on. In 2 minds. Gives it off to his former skipper, Matty Knights. He goes wide to the current captain, Wayne Campbell. Chipping inboard, in towards the middle. Oh, Lockyer got a bad bounce, and he got belted to the ground. Bowden goes for home, and gets there.
Well, we mentioned before the match how important Bowden along with Tivendale was last week. He is running very hard forward of the ball, trying to be used as an attacking option. On that occasion, he got on the dangerous left foot, and you've just got to think that Tarkin Lockyer, he just needed to do more. It was a bad bounce, but he needed to get some part of the body to keep the ball going forward. He just let it get behind him, and then Bowden's unloaded from 55. That's a sensational kick.
Joel Bowden getting the Tigers' first goal, and a beauty. Third in last year's best and fairest was Joel. He was one of the veterans in Benny Gale. 226 games under his belt now.
Good player.
Yeah, he's been really good, hasn't he? O'Brien can't get it out of the middle. Looked for the free kick, didn't come his way. Tiger midfielders again working hard. O'Brien this time a little enthusiastic. Taken high. Tivendale running past. They go inside 50 once again, the Tigers. One hand, not enough. Campbell, right foot. Pass is okay. Rory goes for goal. Hilton gets another one.
They've answered well, the Tigers. They look very good. Every time they go forward at the moment, the Tigers look likely to score. They've got a good setup, plenty of space, plenty of movement in their forward line. And on that occasion, Hilton just got on the end of the short pass from Campbell. He just threw it on the boot as quick as he could. And Johnny on the spot. Rory Hilton in front. Very skillful player. Just hooked it over the shoulder with the left foot.
More a positional kick that went into Wattens as well. It made him stop in his tracks. It put it in a dangerous zone, which Campbell seized upon. But he actually had his man done on the lead. If there had been a better weighted kick, he'd be lining up for goal from about 35 metres out. So they've got to be careful to kick it to their forwards, not just positionally kick, because Preston G. Como and those types of blokes, Richardson, will pick them off.
So the Tigers hit the front. Oh, beautifully done by Gale. Off to Knights. Another one away towards Jason Torney. They've settled now. This is Leon Cameron.
That's a great
Usually a great deliverer of the football. And that's no exception. Richardson's a long way from home.
How'd you like to be in front of that?
Beautiful kick, wasn't it?
Inside 50. He goes towards his co-big man in Ottens. Can't find him cleanly. They backpedal a little.
Benny
Setting it
Gale's
up for
lurking.
Chaffee. In towards the lurker. And you're right, Dermy.
You've got to say it was a good option from Rory Hilton again. He looked cornered out on the flank, and all he did was chip the ball the bare 10 metres back in a defensive direction, but it allowed Chaffee to maintain possession and have a good look at his options up forward. Then he just squared it to the big man. As you mentioned, Dermott, he pushed forward into a very good attacking spot and kicked it to his advantage. Nice and high, he outmarked the smaller opponent.
This will be a good education for Josh Fraser when he moves onto the ball. Anthony Rocker's in the first ruck at the moment, because that man on screen, Brendan Gale, is one of the most intelligent and smart working ruckmen this game's seen for the last 10 years or so. He knows how to exploit somebody. He's not the gifted athlete that Richardson is or anything like that, but he is exceptionally smart at putting himself in the right position at the right time.
207 goals he's booted in his career.
And he can shank a few.
And Benny, you haven't added to that 207.
It's still in.
It is still in play. Short little chip is going to be okay, and Kellaway will get another chance to make amends for the Tigers.
You'd be looking to kick it back 25 to somebody else from here to get a safer bet, wouldn't you?
Well, he's kicked 9 in his
sell him short.
146
Don't
games.
sell him short. He's improved.
And won't he be rap if he kicks this?
I tell you what, you give a bloke a rap and he does that. How about we
He won't let us down.
We'll towel him up here and he'll spear it.
For goal number 10 in his career.
It's close.
Oh, don't tell me he's kicked that. Jubilation at Punt Road. Kellaway gets his first, and the Tigers have kicked the last 3.
Mightn't have looked the most fluent of kicks, but the other thing he's got to do, because Duncan Kellaway's the man responsible for Nathan Buckley, and what he is doing, and to his full credit, he's not just trying to be the permanent shadow on Nathan Buckley. What you've got to do when you're playing on a player like Buckley, who gets so much of it, is you've got to hurt him going the other way.
Yep.
And that's where Duncan Kellaway has certainly started in good fashion here by kicking a goal.
Holland on rocker. Broderick has just come off the bench onto the ground. Zilla off. So the last 3 goals to Richmond. They lead by 7 points. Good contest, this one. Fraser and Gale once again taken by O'Brien. High ball up towards half forward. Fraser's running here. Could be dangerous. Oh, was that the D9 I saw coming out?
Now the thing that's going to be in trouble here is
he jumped up in the air.
He jumped up to get him with his hip. He jumped up to get him on the head with his hip, which is not a good thing.
And I think the last thing the Tigers want to do is get in another melee, Sandy, after recent weeks.
And he's reporting him.
Is he gone?
I can tell by the facial expressions that, watch here, he's jumped to get him. That's that brought the umpire's book out. Keep your feet on the ground these days. That's
it hit him fair and square with the hip. I mean, the arm wasn't even involved in the
question
clash.
there.
It's just the hip, but you're right. He's jumped up and caught him in a dangerous position.
Yeah. He seems to recovered all right, Gaspar. I mean, it'll send a couple of Tweety pies circling around your head, but he's gone okay.
He's trying to play on, and they haven't even let play go on yet. He's going to go back to Darren Gaspar again. Lucuria, the man following Matthew Knights around at the moment.
Well, they're going to force Gaspar to kick here. He doesn't want to because he knows his limitations. Gives off to Knights now.
And he heads to the outer side. So early drama for Collingwood and Jarrod Molloy as that ball is smashed over the line. There's Rory Hilton. Opened the season, a blaze of glory. That glory or Rory? Oh, it's Friday night and it's good fun, isn't it, eh? O'Brien hoping to set it up once again. It came from Nick Davis, but here's Hilton. He's on the half-back line at the moment, away to Chaffee. Back towards centre wing. Loney is at the back of the pack. Gets a hand to it and he's the first to recover. He showed a bit in the past few weeks. He's been impressive, this young man. The O'Brien hand pass had to be accurate to Buckley. It was from a standing start. He pumps it high up towards half forward. The galloping hordes come over the top and push it over the line.
Just some of the early matchups, Sandy, particularly on ball. Duncan Kellaway, as we mentioned, following Buckley. Paul Lucuria coming in off the wing after the ball's bounced. He's following Matthew Knights around. And young Danny Roach, he's got the great job of picking up Wayne Campbell at the moment. That's fair first up effort, isn't it?
Good luck, Danny, and welcome to senior footy. Kellaway at the bottom of the pack. O'Brien could have copped a shove. Buckley gets a hand pass out towards Davis. He's away, but in the meantime, well, he's frustrated because there's been a whistle and it's going to come back to O'Brien.
And Ray Hall's come off the ground, as you called, Sandy. And
Ben Holland came on to replace him.
He came on because Rocker's pushed forward, and they want Holland on Rocker up forward.
Bowden and Lockyer, O'Brien in two minds. Molloy somewhat tentative. Congested forward line. Gaspar at the back trying to spoil, but this man has a huge talent, Chris Tarrant. 5 goals last week.
He's a great athlete. I mean, his long leads are lightning quick, but I've got to tell you, Darren Gaspar wasn't far behind on that occasion. It took an exceptional one-grab mark to haul that ball in.
Tarrant kicked long goals last week, as Jason mentioned in our opener.
Probably been to the bank this week.
Yes.
What am I on line for, Mr. Manager? He's done all right, hasn't he?
He has. Yes.
Let's have a look what faces Leon Cameron. They're trying to cover everything in the zone here, so they'll pick it in between.
About to join the 200 club, Leon Cameron. 5 games to go.
Really wide zone, that one by Collingwood, employed there. But that's the one you want, Sandy, the secondary possession. That's the one that hurts you.
Well done by Preston Giacomo.
A couple of the matchups there, Jason. Licuri, as you said, comes in off the square to pick up Knights. Josh Fraser now on the ball against Bendigo. Good learning curve for Josh Fraser here again, and Davis.
Yeah, Nick Davis has gone on to Campbell now.
Tivendale tries to steal it out of the air. He's going nowhere.
There's been a few swaps and a few changes early on as they try to get the mix-up right, the matchups from both points of view.
And Broderick has taken Stephen Zilla's place on O'Brien.
Yeah. Zilla having a spell. Campbell, Bowden, Tivendale, Campbell. So it went full circle. Up towards half forward. That was interesting from Rogers. Prestigiacomo's at the back. Rogers is quick to pounce on him.
Great
Loney steals it out the back door. He's like Ronald Biggs. How did he get that? Well, he's away, and so too is Collingwood. Loney once more. Beautiful hand pass to Lockyer. You're going to have to be quick. Target is beautiful football.
I'll tell you what, Nathan Loney's only playing his 4th game. Oh, Ryan Loney, sorry. Better not call him by his brother, who's actually down at...
Showing your old colours there, boys.
Yes. But Ryan Loney's only playing his 4th game. And gee, he shows good poise. Under pressure, he's not afraid to run and attack. His disposal is excellent.
Kicks it well.
And the good long hand pass there that freed up Tarkin Lockyer in the centre of the ground.
And off-screen, Simon Prestigiacomo coming from the ground, and Rupert Batheris replacing him.
So the young man from Glenorchy shoots towards goal, but I think he's missed to the left.
He's a pretty good converter, actually. Brodie Holland, as a rule. And he knows that was a gimme for him. Let's have a look at this zone. It's really wide here. Most teams concede it out wide and that way protect the corridor. But Collingwood have gone very wide with their zone.
Biddiscombe.
Numbers against Collingwood here.
Towards Gale. Rintoul was there as well. Rocker. Oh, good second attempt. Hilton cut across him. Rocker went again. That was an excellent contest by both.
He's made up his mind, Rory Hilton. He wants to be out there tonight, doesn't he?
Yep.
Bang, and just a couple more metres for the team.
Well done. Holland, Rintoul. Socket off the ground by Broderick. Down towards centre wing. An opportunity there for Rupert Batheris. Rupert's kick is going to be chopped off once more. Biddiscombe gives it off to Campbell. The Tigers are away. Campbell. Unsure. Now he's in trouble. Has to backpedal towards Biddiscombe once more. They've gone back to centre wing now, and Holland.
They had Josh Fraser ahead of them. Now the ball's with Joel Bowden, but they had Josh Fraser loitering right in the action zone. And that's why they held onto it.
Oh, it had to be good, Dermy, and it wasn't quite. Licuria gives it off towards Fraser. Josh's kick is hurried up towards the centre of the ground. And once again, Brodie Holland, who's been busy, takes the mark.
You'd send out the message to Torney by now.
Here's O'Brien. O'Brien from 55 passes into the pocket. And the piece of 8-gauge wire, Chris Tarrant takes the mark.
If you could have seen, he's gone for the return pass.
Oh, my hat.
The idea was right, the execution was poor.
Gee, Kellaway and Bowden combining. And Kellaway will come away from the back pocket. An opportunity going begging there for the Maggies.
It's really one of those where if you're not 100% sure of the short pass, you've got to go back and back yourself to have the set shot.
Chaffey. Into the centre, Rogers. He's clear.
It's a poor kick as well.
Yep, must admit the disposal has been a little questionable, but the pressure's been intense. Richardson held it for a long time. They're just trying to set it up, though, down in the pocket. Hilton gets another opportunity.
That's got to work for them now. They had gone deeper than that. Josh Fraser had made his way back there again. So the Tigers are being very careful. They've done their homework here, not to blaze away just with this standard 40, 50-metre kick under pressure. They're looking a lot shorter, and even if they have to go wide, retain possession.
Hilton from the pocket. He misses.
He's got plenty of the ball already, Rory Hilton. He's had 8 touches in the first quarter. He started with a bit of a mismatch. Simon Prestigiacomo was on him. He's actually come off. It's actually 9 possessions out of Hilton after that kick. And we saw Batheris come on a few moments ago to try and tighten up on him.
And Duncan Kellaway's off too, boys, so a change of a match-up there. Rogers on to Buckley.
Campbell's had 7 possessions.
He's calling for it, Hilton.
Kick, Tivendale. In towards full forward. Hilton's at the back. Richardson is right there with him. They take it to the line. Wakeland making sure it's over.
He had a chance then to absolutely plant the knee into his Collingwood opponents. I think it was Nick Davis loitered in front of him, and he looked to outstretch him, and Davis was equal to the task on the spring.
Well, can they take advantage of it while they've got it down in the area? That is the big question. Lucuria and Rupert Batheris have other ideas.
Interesting hearing Hutchie talk about Duncan Kellaway going off, Rogers going on to Buckley. I wonder if they're just going to double team him, maybe give them short bursts of 10 or 15 minutes at a time to work him.
Yep.
Fraser edged out by Gale. Lockyer, beautiful tackle by Bowden. Pinned the one hand and made it impossible for him to get rid of the footy.
You mentioned Joel Bowden before the game, Jason. He got plenty of it last week, and the Tigers were a little bit upset with the way he disposed of the ball. Needs to tidy up on it a bit. He's already got one major. There he is, hands on knees there. Look for him to explode through this contest.
A Tiger win in the ruck duels once more. A Lockyer to Buckley. Relatively quiet start by Buckley, just 5 possessions when you think of what he's done in recent weeks. Loney has been very good, as we've said. He kicks them over centre wing. Tarrant almost recovered. Clement going past, couldn't quite pick it up, and Gaspar makes sure it's locked up.
It turned into a stalemate there. Clement and Leon Cameron both put hands on the ball and thought, oh, I've just about had enough. We'll just leave it a stalemate here and get a ball up.
There's Leon, as I said, approaching 200. So a great milestone for him. Rogers. Quick hand pass is okay to Chaffey. Back towards centre wing. Fraser, well, the big man recovered well.
Chad Rintoul gets the mark there. It's a second grab. He just really had stone hands on that last ball he went for. That's probably what he needs more in his game, a little bit of touch, but he has a rip at it.
Goes back inboard. And Wakeland sends them wider. Clement. Spearing a pass in towards the half.
Yep, he got him for a high one.
He's going to get a free kick. He's going to get it.
Sandy, you could just see in the marking contest as Nick Davis went for the ball, the arms just caught him high over the shoulder, around the neck, or the side of the head. Wasn't much in it from Wayne Campbell. The crowd doesn't like it, but you can just see the right arm there. It's over the shoulder, catching him around the side of the neck. Very technical. As long as they're consistent.
Davis shooting for his first goal for the night. He's kicked 20 in 32 games.
He is a good kick.
He's a beautiful kick of the footy.
And he's kicked his first for the night.
He's one of those players that you're very happy if you're in his side to see him with the ball when he's having a shot for goal. One of those that, even though he's a young player and he doesn't have the experience of some of the more fancy big names, he is an exceptional kick of the football. Did everything right. He was in front, he attacked the ball, and off only a couple of steps, he threads it through from a pretty tight angle. He's got pretty good penetration on his kick as well. Anything from around the 50 metres and closer, deadly.
Nick Davis gets his first. He kicked a couple last week. One in the second quarter, one in the last. The Collingwood rampage. Gale out of the middle towards Campbell. The look away hand pass. Well, perhaps he shouldn't have looked away. Freeborn says thank you very much, and I'll give it a Tarkin lock here and whip it down towards the half forward line. Molloy came out, Rintoul too. Both missed it, and it's taken over the line.
You see Brendan Gale coming off for a spell, and Ray Hall coming back on to have a a stint in the ruck.
He's going to need a bit of rotating and a bit of rest for the evening.
Everyone in Woy Woy will be watching Ray Hall. Good luck to him. Rintoul pounces on it. Buckley does some hard work. That socket off the ground from behind. Always looks great. Looks even better when it's a 6-pointer, but Lockyer has to be content with a behind. 3-3. Woy Woy.
Where's that? Out there, you're the farmer amongst us.
Yeah, it's up in New South Wales, Dermott, but to be exact, I couldn't tell you. But it's not all that far from Sydney. I know it's a long way from Ron Woodside. There's Lockyer away from Gale. Rocker wanting to give it back, and does. Pass had to be good, and it wasn't. Chaffee has had a busy first quarter. The Tigers through Tivendale go up towards Hilton. Loney's right there with him, and Wakeland and Richardson see it over the line. There's Loney.
Looks like he's moved over onto Rory Hilton now. Rupert Batheris might have moved sideways off him.
Benny Gale just having a spell. 1 point in it.
Yeah, he's from Devonport.
Dear, you're going to have treatment for that. Campbell gives it to Hilton. Hilton's 60 metres out. Now, where's Ottens? He's at the back. Richardson, a hurried kick. Please give me the boundary line, he says. And he finds it.
I haven't got that wrong. He's from the Burnie Hawks.
Yeah. Rocker can't take it cleanly. Richardson tried to steal it. Lockyer has it taken out of his hands. Davis is under pressure. Buckley, a beautiful pickup, but then he's overrun. Mightn't
be a great night for Matty Richardson, because what the Tigers are trying to do is seize up or drag out of the action the half backman for Collingwood, because they get so much run there. So Richardson's finding himself played out of position somewhat to win the ball.
He pushes down towards Knights, who also runs out of room.
Only 2 possessions to Richardson at this point in time.
Well, they've plucked out a free kick here.
Holding the man.
Was it? Thanks, Jason. We'll go back. Ottens was the man coming out on a long lead.
Yeah, he's got to go back behind the mark, Tivendale.
So the main possession winners, Chaffee has 9, Campbell has 9, Hilton has 10. And Tivendale also has been busy with 7. Knights has 6. That's for the Tigers. Again, Ottens was a target, but he was about 3rd in line. Strong mark taken in front.
Well, he's blown time on here. He is one tough character.
He is. He's been around for a long, long time. Paul
He's
Broderick.
what you call a professional footballer, this bloke.
Originally from Camperdown in the Western District. Rogers.
He'll fancy himself in that range, Matthew Rogers. He is a long kick of the football.
You'd like him on the move, playing on through there, Jason.
But actually, when he almost gets on the run when he takes his run up, he takes an enormous run up, and he really gets into a decent stride when he kicks the ball.
Very important for this side, Rogers, the way he holds it in as well as work for it.
Rogers goes close to the man on the mark, but he still gets a ton of distance. Marked right on the line by Fraser. That's an excellent defensive grab. With only seconds remaining, Collingwood trying desperately to hold out Richmond.
Good boy. You don't have to kick it too quick.
Doesn't have many options, Dermott. I'm glad he's not kicking it. There's nothing to kick to.
Well done.
So a fascinating first quarter here at the MCG, with scoring kept to a minimum in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Collingwood then breaking away with a couple of goals. And then Richmond hitting back. Goal kickers for Collingwood. Jarrod Molloy had one. Someone's doing gags down there with Richo. Molloy won, and he also had his name and number taken. O'Brien kicked one and Nick Davis kicked one. Whilst for Richmond, Rory Hilton, Duncan, Kellaway and Joel Bowden are their goal kickers. Collingwood are 3-3, Richmond are 3-2 here at the MCG. This was Malthouse a few moments ago.
Sandy, I'd suggest he's just worried about the latitude that some of the Richmond players are getting, and he was just reminding them where the correct starting position on your direct opponent is, and that's right on his toes.
Also right on his tail at the moment is our boundary rider, Hutchie. What news you got, Hutchie?
Yes, animated Mick Malthouse at quarter time. Richmond calm and composed. Duncan Kellaway is rotating off the bench. He's back in the middle, I think you'll find, this quarter. Back on Nathan Buckley and really rotating the tools through the interchange bench. Richmond again this quarter.
Thank you, Hutchie. Just about set to go then. Second quarter. Nathan Buckley, as we said, by his standards in that first term.
Richardson and Wakeland.
6. Yeah, well, that's how they started.
He's a big man now, Matty Richardson, isn't he? And Wakeland's a big fella, and he's not dwarfing him, but he's markedly bigger than him.
A point in it as we commence the second quarter. Rocker is on the ball. He tried to flick it round, and he does so delightfully to O'Brien. Kicks up towards the half-forward line. Tarrant was a target, but he couldn't take it cleanly. Bidiscombe appeared to get caught and lost the football, but the Tigers are able to regain and steady through Cameron. Leon Cameron, normally very good at disposal. No exception. Out in front of the eyes and taken by Ottens.
Long lead by Richo.
Had a quiet start. Here is Richo at the back with Rogers. Tight angle. Rogers keeps it in play. Clever kick. Very clever kick.
Matty Rogers is exceptionally important to the Richmond team. He gets under the guard of a lot of people. He's very hard at winning the ball and keeping the ball in the forward line, and he thinks pretty cleverly
and I'll tell you one thing else. Look at the shepherd. You could just see it disappearing out of the left of screen. Something that Matthew Richardson perhaps has been criticised of in the past is not doing the one-percenters or the team things. He applied a great shepherd that just allowed Matthew Rogers the time to pick up the ball and size up his options.
Here is Jason Torney directly in front. Kicks the goal. Tigers away to a flying start in the second. So Torney, who has something in common with Don Scott, which is a rarity nowadays, coming and spending time at South Adelaide. Don, of course, had a memorable coaching career with South Adelaide.
You just have a look here that the shepherd we were talking about as the ball comes over. Look at Richardson go away from the ball, keeping Wakeland away from Rogers. And look, it's good ground by Torney. He's come from half-back. Got a lot of congratulations from his fellow defenders.
And Richo worked hard back into the centre there, so he's following up.
Rupert Bafiris, probably disadvantaged pace-wise on Matty Rogers.
Yeah, he might have a little bit too much of the smarts, although Rupert's a pretty good customer these days. He's learned his craft pretty well.
Handy goal for the Tigers through Torney, who's not a renowned goal kicker, just 9 to his career. O'Brien gave it to Lockyer, who kicks down towards Clement. And here he is, nice little sidestep. Tried to go over the top to Buckley, but it was well cut off. And the door opened for Bidiscombe. Ever so slightly now for the Tigers. Campbell picks up yet another possession. He's picked up plenty. Torney again goes up towards the half-forward line. They're well inside 50. Richardson was there. Hilton was there. Wakeland is there. Pushed towards the line and one behind.
Well, they made a meal of that, the Tigers.
They did.
They probably would look back at that and say, if only we could have done that a little bit better, we'd be running back to the centre there to celebrate. Let's have a look at this Collingwood huddle. And they get one out wide. When they huddle, this bloke, Freeborn, has come down from the far half-forward flank. So when they huddle, they're looking for somebody from their own forward line to come down past it.
Davis. Rupert Bafiris. Kicks up over centre wing. Clement, one-hander.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Or as Hutch, I think, introduced him last week as James Clement from Paris.
Arno's brother.
Throw in. Only gagging, Hutchie.
He didn't look like he was going to be able to keep Cameron out of the contest, and it just fell into the left hand beautifully. Great control.
He
nice
had
volley.
a good hand on the ball and a good hand on his jumper, but you got to pay that.
Fraser in front.
Oh, good hands.
Take it clean. That was cleverly done. Oh, Molloy's got a good tackle there. He was put under the pump, Ray Hall. He was going nowhere.
Give it a handball. Give it a handball with Jarrod Molloy hanging all over you.
Oh, dear. Collingwood desperately trying to reply to the early goal from Richmond. Fraser gets a hand to it, but he wasn't on his own. And again, it's taken over. Torney, the only goal kicker so far in this second quarter. Fraser again. Could have almost picked up a free kick. he's going to.
Well, you really do run a big risk when you start getting involved in ruck wrestles, from whether it be a ball up or a throw-in the forward line, because they do pluck them. He's just trying to work him under the ball. He's basically asking him to the senior prom, isn't he? He's got the arm around the shoulder saying, shall we dance?
Well, I think they're probably going, and they've already started.
It's a fair free kick.
Oh, look, you don't even know who started the contact there. No. Josh Fraser with his left arm hooked onto Ray Hall's arm going around there, so you don't know who's even initiated it.
Fraser has the kick. Starts at left, stays there.
It's just always dangerous to get involved in those sort of that contest inside your defensive 50, because they do pluck free kicks.
Well, what you try and do there is just walk the opposition ruckman under the flight of the ball. Easier said than done, I know, but and he was a wake-up to it, Josh Fraser. That's what faces Leon Cameron. Should be able to pick a hole in this.
Well, he hits way to the outer side, finds Campbell.
Now they're off.
One of those players who just seems to pick up possessions at will. You suddenly look down at your stats sheet.
Was that 12, Sam?
Well, classic example, isn't it? Kellaway. Classic example again tonight. Rintoul, a lone fly.
Well done by Marc Richardson to hold off his opponent, Ottens, who was trying to get to the ball there.
Johnson to O'Brien, off to Molloy. The D9's on centre wing, gives it away to Loney. Loney on the left foot, pokes them inside 50. Oh, the lead was good.
He's paid the free kick.
Yeah, a shoulder high tackle. The advantage is being paid. He's called to play on, and it's going to be kept in play. Lockyer make it soccer off the ground. Can't quite get there. Desperate defence. And that was by Ray Hall.
I've got to tell you, that was a very dangerous spoil from Darren Gaspar. He's really got to make sure that he takes the ball through. If he doesn't mark it, it's got to go through for a point. He's brought it back into a dangerous position.
Well, it really gave Ray Hall something to think about. Gaspar, proppy hand pass in the end is going to be okay.
Gee, they were brave there, the Tigers.
Cameron's away, so too is Richmond.
He's playing centre half forward pretty well here. Brad Ottens
goes towards right half forward. Big spoil by Batheris. Waiting down Tivendale. They have to go again. Back to Ottens. This time a chip up towards half forward. And he finds Benny Gale. Gale into the middle. Kellaway. Chubba Kellaway. In towards Hilton, who was his target. But Loney's too good. And he dashes clear. Away goes Loney to the outer side. Setting it up for the Pies. And Richardson takes the mark.
He's just super impressive, Brian Loney. Just to forward for front position and then enough confidence to play on.
Richo's kick is going to be cut off. The target was Fraser. Matthew Knights was in the way. Gets the hand pass over the top to Leon Cameron. He runs through the centre now. That's a good kick. But it's come from Cameron. We know that. Ottens gets another chance. Cameron thought about going on with it. He's come a long, long way.
Well, this is one that the Tigers didn't want. But play on. It was time on Bowden, yeah.
He's got to go back. I'll tell you what, it was a dangerous kick at the best of times, but Brendan Gale took the best one-handed slips catch you've ever seen, and he's got to give it back. He would be absolutely bleeding. Have a look at this. On that big hand, he just roped it in.
That's junior war stuff. Statistician Kevin O'Neill is ecstatic.
I tell you what, hasn't he taken a divot as well? Now this is there's
Joel Bowden.
Joel Bowden
got one on the back of the head,
a little smile in the back of his head now. Now they wouldn't want Leon Cameron to be winning too much ball forward of centre. That's the Pies.
Cameron, normally very good.
Because that's what he'll do.
Well, affectionately known as Bakes, named after Leon Baker, the great midfielder from Essendon. And I tell you what, he delivers a ball a bit like him too.
Well, it's good reward for Leon Cameron. He made the play. He got the handball from Matthew Knights at centre half back, and he ran through the middle of the ground. He spotted Ottens out wide. He kept running, ran into space, got the return kick, and then finished well from a tight angle.
A little worrying for Collingwood. They've scored just the one behind this quarter, as Bowden gets a little work done on the back of the head.
Benny Holland comes on. And they'll hope to make an immediate mismatch here.
Sneaking down
He
as
is
if he's trying to
sneaking down,
hide.
but Marc Richardson has seen him.
So back in the middle once again, and that's
Definitely
where they're
gonna be.
winning it. Campbell out of the midfield. Gale doing some great work, and the Tigers looking good here now. Richardson, a lot of holding on. Lockyer, his hand pass is loose. It's come out the back. Holland's just come on the ground. They kick the goal.
Richardson's hurt.
So is Collingwood.
Matty Rogers has cannoned into the back of his head, making the marking attempt over the top. And Benny Holland was the first to recover.
He certainly was. I tell you what, it's worrying signs. You can just see the wrestle here, and he wears the full brunt
And the point of the chin,
of the marking
too.
clash, and he just gets hit flush on the front. You certainly can't blame Matty Rogers, I think it was, coming over the top, who went for the big specky.
Well, he got
He's
hands
attacking
on the ball.
Yep.
Well, they have got the mismatch there because Richardson has to go back to Ottens and Loney goes to Holland and drags him to the goal square and pushes
immediately,
everyone else away now. One out and just push him around if he can.
Let's see what Gale does this time out of the middle. Forced to try and take it out himself.
You're right, Dermott. Sensible play from the Tigers forward line. They've all moved out. They've realised the mismatch. All they want to do is get a quick, long kick down there to a one-on-one contest. And you'd expect Ben Holland to be too strong for Ryan Loney.
And now... Oh, look, Loney will be devastating going the other way because Holland won't be able to run with him if he can get a run off.
The 225s go at it again.
It's gone against Matty Knights.
It's gone against Knights, and so the run has stopped. Greg Tivendale was away there. And Collingwood's got to stop this run. It's somewhat disturbing. Richmond's kicked the last 3 goals. Kellaway will steady. Gaspar gives it away. Molloy gets it from behind.
Not having the best of nights, Torney.
Gee.
And you don't want to be tackled by that bloke when he's got a run up as well.
He just
That's a good
hesitated. He hesitated. He knew there was one player in close proximity. And you can see him look to his right, but he didn't realise the other fellow was coming. And look, it was a good decision. He caught him right up high at the top of the shoulder, but he did duck.
Molloy to steady Collingwood. Got to be close. He's missed. Good umpiring there too, but I mean down at the other end in the first quarter we had it against Richmond of Wayne Campbell's spoil, which barely brushed the shoulder, and that Jarrod Molloy tackle went over the shoulder firstly, or very high on the shoulder, and it would have been easy to clear it out, but good umpiring to reward the tackle for somebody who went for evasive action first. We'll try to be elusive. This is a really wide zone, and once again shouldn't have too many problems. 16 points the margin. Kellaway tried a little fancy one. Molloy chops it off. He gives it away to Lockyer. Off to Licuria. A chip in towards the half-forward line. And Davis.
They can thump it.
Yep, he'll fancy his chances again.
Prestigiacomo back out onto the ground.
And I think
coming off is Rupert Batheris.
as soon as Davis took the mark, Andrew Kellaway was holding his head thinking that silly little kick around the corner.
Only 2 possessions to Batheris. Nick Davis.
For his second. Won't make the distance. Who's at the back? Gaspar to defend.
See what the Tigers have done very well, that is block up the Collingwood forward line. Tarrant and Molloy haven't been able to get many kicks on the lead. They're dropping numbers back, filling the gaps, and then running from half back.
78,265 is the record, I understand, crowd for these two sides in a home and away.
Ray Hall coming off as well, Sandy. He was a bit sore from a contest 10 minutes ago, as we see Jarrod Molloy pick off the kick in.
Were you going to tell me we've broken the record for the crowd, Sandy?
No, I think they're looking at about 76,000 at the moment, but still very good. Molloy was excellent against the Bulldogs. He kicked 2 goals in the third quarter, but he played a marvellous game. He's had his number taken tonight, but he's still getting plenty of the footy.
I'll tell you what, it's not carrying as far as we saw the ball carry last week. They're struggling to kick it from just outside the 50.
Gale defending.
I wonder if there's a bit of breeze out there.
He takes a lot of marks.
Brendan!
What about that for an option?
I'll tell you what, they've been brave down there.
Got away with it. There's another little 9-iron.
Did Duncan Kellaway save his royal butt? Got it out of the proverbial fire.
Well, and they've got it out of trouble too. So now maybe Torney can set something up here. Comes inboard towards half forward. A hurried kick by Chaffee, who's picking up a ton of possessions. The diving Marc, not taken. Knights was in there. Davis. Leon is there.
Leon.
The boundary.
There he is.
Gee, he's quick. Don't blink because you'll miss him. He's that quick. Leon Davis, 19-year-old from Perth.
And Hall down here on the boundary line, guys, got a corked hip, so nothing too serious there.
Yeah, he did cop that nasty one. Davis, little flick on towards. Tarkin. You're giving Dermott heart palpitations, and he goes again towards the boundary line, just easing it away from Simon Prestige.
Well, in his defence, I think Tarkin Lockyer, he grabbed the ball close to goal, and he went to the first handball. And you look, Sandy, I'm sure you'll get all the stats from today's game if you check out the i7sport.com.au website. It will cover everything.
Spot on, Jason.
Will it come up as a clanger?
I think it may.
They've got them on the website. Check them out.
Sure they have.
There's Campbell, the hand pass. It's okay towards Greg Tivendale, but only as far as the boundary.
I think there are times when you're under pressure that you handle the first jumper you see and you don't take into account the fact that his opponent's right next to him.
Oh, that's giving the bloke an easy ride. He's coughed it up under pressure, mate. You're going a bit easy on him.
Sometimes you don't have time under pressure, Dermott. Let's be fair to the players.
That's all right for full forwards. They don't have to worry about
Here's
that.
Davis. A little too far for Buckley, and it could be costly.
Good tackle, Neon.
He goes again. That was a good second effort, and Buckley will get them out of trouble to Johnson. Johnson flicks it over the top towards Fraser. He chips in towards the centre of the ground. There's no one at home. Knights is there. Dimartina's warming up on the sidelines for Collingwood. He was very good against his brother. Oh, it's a shocking kick. O'Brien. A little bit of untidy work going on at the minute, but there's a lot of feeling out. Waitland looks towards left half forward. Tarrant's got to beat a couple. Gaspar has him.
I'll see another worry for Collingwood, Sandys. We saw a moment ago Nathan Buckley get a quick handball out in the back pocket. That was his first touch for the quarter. He still only has the 7 and no impact on the game as yet.
No, you're right. Dimartina's come onto the ground, and Prestige Como is off. Torney hand pass is okay towards Tivendale again. He finds the line. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Presti, come on, we'll give you a chance at your Italian. How would you say it? Presti Giacomo.
You see Ray Hall getting some
apparently
little bit of manipulation work there on that cork tie, just keeping the movement in the joint.
Let you call it, Dermott, when he comes back on.
Prestige Como will do, man.
Yeah, that's now you're talking our language. The Lucuria was one in there trying to get it out. Eventually Collingwood has a line of players now. Rocker is amongst them, and he lets go with a long bomb. Let's get out of here, he says. And he kicks down towards the 50. He wants Davis or someone, or Tarrant maybe. Thrown to Davis. Now Leon, what can you do? He goes again, Leon Davis. Tried to get it onto Molloy. Nick Davis is there as well. Backpedals to Buckley. Can't get into the game at the moment. The D9 comes out once more.
Well
O'Brien is there. It's locked up. Good, hard, solid football. And we've got a bounce as Stephen Zilla picks himself up from the bottom of the pack.
He did well then, Zilla. He got a pinch back there. He pinched the ball back off his Collingwood opponent, but also he had Rogers coming off to sit on the bench, and Bowden's come on, and he'll go to the half-forward line, I think. If I could, I'd leave Rogers out there at the moment. I reckon he's been very good for them up forward.
Holland contesting. Rintoul. Well, should have taken it. Now Gale comes over the top.
Good contest, that one, Rintoul and Chaffee. Rintoul's coming up for his 7th possession, and Marc Chaffee's got 12 to his name. They're both playing on the wing, but gee, they're covering some ground.
Campbell is the most prolific possession winner with 15. Torney has 13. Tivendale has 11. Knights 9. Tigers having more of the footy than Collingwood at the moment. O'Brien is one of their major ball winners with 10. Tarkin Lockyer has 12 and Loney has 11. As Dermott has said, he's been good. A wall of Tigers. Gaspar is at the back. The game just a bit of a stalemate at the moment. He kicks towards the half-back line. Oh, it's a mighty one-hander. Beaten was Dragicevic. Now Waitland takes it from Dimartina, goes in towards the forward line, and Bowden, looking more like Sylvester Stallone, gives it away. They come back towards Chaffee. He's forced to spoil from behind. Lockyer's waiting down in front. Tarkin Lockyer, the hand pass to Buckley. He's caught. He's caught. loses it. Gives it back to Lockyer, off to Freeborn. Little chip in towards the 50. Picked up by Rintoul. Kick a goal, Chad, for heaven's sake. And he does. Oh, gee, it took a while.
It wasn't that a badly needed goal for the Pies. And Chad Rintoul, you just get the feeling that he had a bit more time than he actually thought, because he's kicked this off one step. Nathan Buckley has found it very tough to find a bit of space tonight. Clever little kick coming in from Freeborn. He found Rintoul, who probably could have run another 5 metres, but he unloads from 50. That is a very, very good kick, and a vital one for the Pies, because they are struggling with their forward structure and also on ball.
Back to a 9-point deficit now, Collingwood, with Rintoul getting his first goal, 4 individuals getting the Magpie goals. Richmond have done pretty well out of the middle. Campbell's going to get a free kick for a push.
That was the first Collingwood goal for 24 minutes of play, so they've been starved of the big sticks.
The skipper's kick is not a good one. It's chopped off by Fraser. He's going to give O'Brien a chance to run on the outer side. Broderick won't get him. O'Brien swings around. Tell you what,
During the last break, Broderick came on
jumpers,
to replace Stephen Ziller.
some of the kicking to position has been a little disappointing.
And that's on both sides,
yeah,
Sandy.
no question of that. However, they've got a chance now, the Tigers, to go forward. Here goes Broderick, little chip inside 50 is better. That's better, and going back will be Marc Dragicevic to have a shot.
Richo's working hard. He made a good lead out of shot, out of screen into the forward pocket, and Dragicevic running back towards goal, just turned his head back and thought, well, I'm a chance here. And just got the little no panic kick from Broderick.
Working hard for a little reward at the moment, Matthew Ritchson.
Yeah,
just
he
the
is.
2 possessions, one mark, 1 kick, 1 handball.
Happy with the way he's working though. He
Yep.
is running around. It'll turn for him if he keeps like that.
Dragicevic for his first from 43 metres. Quick reply, is it?
Yep.
Quick reply indeed by the Tigers. Dragicevic gets his first, and that's the 4th for Richmond for the quarter.
Yes, coming off the bench, Marc Dragicevic, but look, good handball over the top, Tivendale to Cameron. He finds Bitterscombe the short kick. And you can just see Broderick weighing up the options. We mentioned that Matthew Ritchson was leading out wide to the open side, but he found Dragicevic in a bit of space right in front of goal, and a clever little chip kick.
Marc Dragicevic, 1 kick, 1 goal. 15 points, again the margin, and under 5 minutes remaining. Fraser beaten, but it's O'Brien who gets the hand pass away. Back again. He's picked up a couple of possessions as they swing it out wide to Johnson. Been pretty good too in recent times to Rintoul again on right half forward.
Well, he kicked one from a very similar spot a couple of moments ago, and he's already put the hand up, just waving to a couple of leads saying, take it easy, I'm going to go back and have a shot.
Pulling up the sock when it didn't need to be pulled up. Is he giving a signal where he's going to drop it?
Kicking from right on 50.
Oh, the big hook.
And my word, that'd be out of bounds if he was playing golf, but he's got the D9 here.
Well, I think Molloy just used his body better. He pushed his opponent, Andrew Kellaway, out of the way and just judged the flight of the ball. There are a couple of pairs jostling and trying to get in position to take the mark. The big frame of Jarrod Molloy got himself in the right position at the right time.
Point blank range.
Oh
my.
He's having one of those nights in front of goal, unfortunately, Jarrod Molloy.
He's got the yips now.
He's one of those players that doesn't take very long at all to have his kick anyway. You can just see here, he's just moving everyone out of the way and shows better judgment than the 2 ruckmen, but then wasted it, unfortunately. Needs to convert.
He'll probably go wide. There's nobody up the middle here.
Coming out towards Holland and Gaspar. Fraser is there also. Lockyer.
He's ducked the head there.
He's going to ping him. What chance? What
ducked the head.
He may have ducked the head, but he never had prior opportunity
That's
to
the way it
dispose of
should
the
be
ball.
umpired. If you've got the ball, doesn't matter how much prior opportunity. It's
That's
a game
it.
of footy.
Fire up, you two. That's all we want to hear. Holland on half-back.
I'm not
you want to win
disputing
the
it's a game
ball,
of footy, Dermott.
if you want to win the ball, take the risks associated, I reckon.
To centre wing, and Chaffee picks up yet another possession. He goes towards Otten's on left half forward. Richardson back and getting one a little high. He'll take the free kick.
Kellaway off again. Rogers will probably go to Buckley yet again, I think you'll find him.
Yep. He has gone straight there. Hutchie's right on the ball. They're doing it very well, the Tigers, on Nathan Buckley.
Davis. This is Nick. We've got both Davis boys on the ground at the moment. Leon.
Danger.
Started on the bench. Wakeland.
Well done.
Good pace, too.
Dashes clear and wobbles it up to half forward. But again, here's Chaffee. For possession number 14. Off to Craig Bitterscombe. In towards right half forward. Kellaway once more. This is Andrew. Towards the 50. Richardson lurking. Frustrated Richardson.
He is starting to get a little bit frustrated because, as Dermott mentioned earlier, he is working hard. He's doing all the right things. He's just got to keep the chin up and just realise that eventually you'll get rewarded for the hard work.
Otten's. Rocker. Otten's trying to take it out of the air. Broderick can't get clear. Little chip kick. Will maybe go towards Knights or Campbell. They're both there. It's Wayne Campbell who's quick to pick it up. Give it away towards Gale, who chips back to Otten's. Gives it off to Knights. He'll swing round onto the left foot and spear the pass into half forward.
That's a good lead. He got fearful the first time when Knights balked, and he was in two minds whether to keep the lead going, but he did, and he led straight up the middle. Watch him here, and he's gone there, and he's put out, and now he has to change the angle on the lead because Knights did a little balk just before he ended up kicking. But he's been working exceptionally hard, Matthew Richardson.
This to stretch the lead to 20 points.
He's gone back 60 yards.
Well, this is a Michael Holding run-up, isn't it?
I think Michael Holding didn't go back that far.
Bit of an angle.
We spend
Van Boom Holder.
And he's kicked an absolute shocker. He's kicked it like Michael Holding.
I'll tell you what, he went back a mile. He went back a mile, but he only stabbed at the ball when he got there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually almost missed it.
Rocker from half-back towards Davis.
Getting a bit more involved in the play this quarter, Nick Davis.
Yep.
Come up, Pies.
Clement. Well, he held it for a long time and eventually got it away to Molloy. He's having a bit of a stroll. He kicks up towards half forward. This is a vital minute or so. Fraser overruns it. Richmond have the numbers. Gaspar has the time. And he's got the players on the outer side. Ottens lopes away. The big man has a bounce. Then he kicks it high and wide. Up towards Richardson again. Still a long way from home, but under 30 seconds remaining. He's got Leon Cameron. He's deadly. Leon Cameron in front of goal. And he's kicked it.
Well, that goal came about because you had two blokes, Otten's work up towards the wing, and then Richardson worked up outside 50, which basically in essence means you've got a first centre-half forward and then a secondary centre-half forward in Matty Richardson, who's worked up outside 50 after Otten's did good work further afield, which means you have a big target for every time you've got a long kick. And that just leaves Leon Cameron to fly through and run at goal.
I'll tell you the other worry at the moment, it's that bad on ball that the Pies, or Mick Moldhouse, has sent Nathan Buckley to full forward. They've done such a good job, the Tigers, not just Rogers and Kellaway who are picking him up, but every player has been aware of where Buckley is and made sure he's had no impact on the game.
Rocker couldn't take it. Freeborn tried to soccer out of the air. Tivendale does well towards half forward. Ottens swings around. They couldn't stand to let them get another one now. Wakeland spoils in front. Oh, here's trouble. Dragicevic is caught. He goes again. He's in the pocket. The clock's ticking down. Hilton is caught by Loney. And the siren just beats them.
That's a good half of footy. A few errors in there, Sandy. But a classical contest where we had a lot of manoeuvres and it was quite tactical. That man on screen forced out of the middle there by being tagged. Tag team effort on him. Mick Malthouse enters the arena.
Wayne Campbell with 19 possessions in the first half, really starting to have an influence on the game now. He's the prime mover as far as the Tigers are concerned. Tivendale's had 14. It's not a bad performance either. 14 also to Chaffey. 13 to Torney, but not too many big possession winners apart from Lockyer with 15 for the Pies.
It looks saw that Ray Hall.
Margin was 1 point at quarter time. That was held by Collingwood. Tigers have fought back. They lead by 20 at the long break. 51 plays 31 here at the G. Welcome back to the MCG. Second half scheduled to commence shortly. Richmond going into the second half with a 20-point lead. Great crowd, obviously around 80,000, and in that crowd, Brisbane Lions coach Lee Matthews there he is with Gary O'Donnell getting ready because they've got a clash with Collingwood in round 15, so they get a fraction early. That's 11 weeks early, well 12 actually, because there's a split round game. Speaking of games, name a game. You can be a part of that. Any game you would like to watch. If you're a Hawthorn fan, you'd like to see Jason and Dermott firing in days gone by, 1-800-035-665. Every game, every team, every week, and you can enjoy it all in your very own lounge room. One man who subscribes to that day in, day out is our boundary rider, Hutchie.
Yeah, we'll be home early to watch that tonight, Sandy. 78,200 people in the ground at the moment, so a terrific crowd, and they're enjoying a fantastic contest, obviously. Richmond are starting with Rogers again on interchange. He'll continue to rotate with Duncan Kellaway, and Collingwood really keen to get more out of their key forwards this quarter.
Speaking of key forwards, there's a couple for the Tigers, Ottens and Richardson. Dragicevic at the back, Buckley with Batheris, Arocka and O'Brien.
It's funny though, Sandy, it hasn't been the key forwards at either end that have actually held the aces tonight. It's been the running players that have kicked the goals and the smaller crumbing players. It's just been that sort of night where disposal's been tough. There haven't been that many clear-cut leads into space. You've really had to work hard to earn your goals.
So the second half underway. Richmond go into it with a 20-point lead. Gale doing the work in the middle, and he does it pretty well. Up against Rocker. Richmond have been winning it out of the middle. Buckley applies a solid tackle. It's worth checking on Buckley's statistics in the first half. Jason, they are?
Yeah, well, he's had 4 kicks, 4 handballs, 6 touches in the first quarter, only 2 in the second, so he'll be pretty keen to get a piece of the leather this quarter.
Still virtually in the middle. Gale.
Yeah, I think he put the hand on the shoulder as he went up for the lead.
A little bit of a right at the umpire, so Anthony Rocker to take it. Pebbles, he's affectionately known as. They need the first one, Collingwood, no question of that. Kellaway being paid the mark. Molloy not happy, but Kellaway's got it. He's a grand player, Andrew Kellaway. 2000 club champion. He was All-Australian last year. And he kicks towards the half-back line where Holland takes the diving mark. He's played on. Pinpoint accuracy required here for Hilton. Who recovers, but Loney's very quick as well, and Loney ties him up. Interesting little kick to Broderick. Back to Ottens again. The hand pass to Kellaway. Off the side of the boot, Knights makes ground. Gets a B-grade bounce, however. The door opens for Collingwood and Rocker. Gives it away quickly. They can set it up for Richardson. From a standing start, he pumps it high. In towards half forward. They come charging at it, but it's all yellow and black. And it's Torney.
No one flying for Collingwood. A bit of a worry there. A couple of smaller players around. The Marc, Leon Davis and Ben Johnson with the other one. One of them needed to fly and make a contest.
Gale. From halfback. Kicks towards centre wing.
That's a good kick by Brendan Gale. Weighted it very, very well.
Chaffey picking up possession number 15. Puts them inside 50. The Dimatina hand pass is okay towards Richardson. The chip is laterally wide, but that too is going to be all right.
Got Tarrant on the long lead, but he ignores that.
Kicking goals has been Collingwood's problem. They've managed only 4 in the first half. Lockyer is on the half-back line. Dimatina's covering kilometres.
Play on, son.
And he does. No one on the mark. Campbell eventually forces him to kick. Gaspar will spoil from the back.
It's always going to be a problem, that kick, because they were marked upfield. But Duncan, Kellaway picking up Buckley. He's rotating with Matty Rogers on the bench. O'Brien and Broderick going head-to-head, and Paul Lucuria has had the job from the first bounce on Matty Knights.
Fraser and Holland. Fraser almost a couple of grabs. Batheris tying it up on Campbell. Wayne Campbell recently joined the 200 club.
Thriving under the captaincy, isn't he?
Yep. He's been a roller coaster career at one stage, threatening to leave the club, but thankfully all that was settled. Here's Buckley. The Army needs him to fire. He wanted Molloy then, he was just edged out of it. Collingwood.
Oh, well done.
And we see Richmond's defence standing firm. It's Broderick who takes it, but he's kicked it straight back where Buckley is. It'll beat him over the line, however.
Beautiful take by Jason Torney down in front of the goals there. Saved an attempt on goal there. That's probably the highlight of his night so far. So it's a restart for him after half-time.
He has picked up a bit of it. He's had 15 touches and kicked a goal from down back, so he hasn't been a poor contributor by any stretch of the imagination.
Holland plucked it out of the air. Buckley in front once again has ridden into the ground. Has a look in hope more than anything else.
As you just saw, Nick Davis starting on the bench too, guys, which is unusual.
There's been lots of changes, plenty of tactical moves in this game, and I'm sure you can catch all of that on the I7 website.
What's the site address again, Jace?
Sandy knows it off the top of his head. Don't worry about that.
i7sport.com.au. Don't miss it. Ben Allen, actually, one of our commentators, will be there this Sunday from 7:30, so you can log on and have a chat with him, Dermott, before you head home.
Very good. We'll be testing you again shortly, Jason.
Holland trying to pull it in with the one hand. Fraser now looking to bury him. Held it for a long time, Josh. Campbell eventually out of the mire. DiMartino couldn't take it. Batheris, Rupert, that was interesting. Now Collingwood maybe setting something up towards Rintoul. He's got it and he kicks towards half forward. Real arm wrestle in the opening minutes of this third quarter. Leon Davis doing some interesting shepherding work for Freeborn. He's bouncing his way away from goal. Well done by Smackagal, just to persist as Clement takes a fine mark.
That's play on.
He's walked off to the side, hasn't he?
I thought the umpire was
He'll be directly in front if he keeps doing this in a moment. Is he cribbing some territory?
And Buckley's going to let him know about...
He's nearly inside the square.
He's
He
still
took it
going.
halfway out to the wing a minute ago. He's nearly in the
Look at
square. He's in the
He's
square.
in. Major
And look at
news.
this.
Clement has let a big bomb go from inside the square.
That's one of the best cribbing jobs I've ever seen.
He should really open a real estate company, that man.
That's only to be surpassed playing golf against Jason Dunstall. He actually marked his ball 3 times and he didn't have to putt in the end.
That fell in, just off the lip. Caught a bit of lip.
Ah, dear. Friday night football coming away on 7. Richmond holding sway over Collingwood. 19 points is the margin early on in the third term. Holland is the flyer from behind.
Oh, good hold up by Josh Fraser because the Tigers were away there. Andrew Kellaway had pushed forward.
The lead is on to centre wing. Chaffee can go in towards the middle. Successful. Cameron.
It's not play on there. Don't know what the umpire's saying. He's got another 7 or 8 metres up his sleeve yet.
Kellaway. Andrew Kellaway.
Oh, Joel Bowden's giving a good lead through the traffic here. Ignored him.
Looking to go straight down the middle. Slapped out the back by Hilton. Back down in front towards Tivendale. In trouble. Gives it away. Chaffee, well done. Just kept cool. Bowden was there waiting. 35 metres out, directly in front.
I would have liked to see Tivendale have the shot at goal. That would have brought the house down. But the one good thing about Joel Bowden was he did run through the traffic on a lead. And if you run through a pack of players on a lead, you will always lose them if you just keep moving because there's just too much traffic for them to keep up with you and keep on the back of you. He's found space after that lead.
Bowden kicked a goal at this end of the ground in the first quarter. Give them a nice little piece of breathing space, but look at that.
Oh, that would have hurt the Pies too if he could have converted. Look, full marks to Greg Tivendale. I'm sure after dodging 2 or 3 players, the tendency would have been to try and snap the miracle goal, but he just back to Chaffee, coolly, squared it up, and they should have had a goal out of it.
There's the Pies, they huddle, and with this huddle they'll wait, and does someone come from... Tarkin Lockie is loitering out the back here, but they're having to go short now.
Ryan Loney doing the kick into Wakeland. Well, what they need to do now as Johnson comes streaming out of defence. Richmond missed their chance to goal. And Knights chops off Lockyer. That was well done. The kick's interesting. Lucuria tries to keep him there. Could have almost got a free kick. O'Brien now comes in over the top, and the Richmond boys are there as well. Out it comes to Lockyer. They let it go. Tarkin Lockyer is away. So to a Collingwood. Buckley.
Well, that's the most space that Nathan Buckley has had all night. He can go on. He's going to go back and have the set shot. He'll have to kick from about 53 metres because Duncan Kellaway standing the mark is right on the 50-metre line. And he certainly hasn't found this sort of space tonight. Good vision from Tarkin Lockie on the left foot, the non-preferred. He just found Buckley standing in space, and already he's touched it a couple of times this quarter. Promising signs for the Pies. This will be a team lifter if he can kick this.
As we said, Richmond have just missed an opportunity. Could almost be a two-goal turnaround.
Poster.
Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Most players tonight have struggled to kick it the bare 50.
Still 19 points, 4-9 to 8-4.
He's gone shorter over the last quarter, Leon Cameron, from fullback, because he had that one picked off by Molloy in the second quarter. He's going for the safety kicks now.
Well, be careful. Broderick's at the back. And Lockyer against a couple of them. Takes it over the line, much to Freeborn and O'Brien's delight.
Tigers better get a ruckman there.
Buckley in front, caught by Holland. Holland and Fraser again. O'Brien and Broderick lurking. Buckley and Kellaway. Kellaway, a short little kick. Buckley right on his hammer, and Johnson sees it over the line.
It's interesting just watching Ben Holland and Josh Fraser, that last throw-up. He's just struggled in the body-on-body with both Gale and Holland tonight. He's just finding it a little bit tough, Josh Fraser, in the ruck. He needs to find another avenue to getting his hand on the ball and trying to push and shove, because he can't move them.
He's moved him out of the way again there.
Here's Lockyer. Had to be quick with the hand pass to O'Brien, and he was off to Rocker. Anthony's kick up towards half forward. I think it was meant for Freeborn. Clement is there. Out comes Leon Davis. Took his eye off the ball. Torney can tidy up once again with Leon Cameron. Oh, Leon chipped it over the back. His target there was Craig Bitterscombe. Finishes over the line.
There's a couple of times this quarter already. Knights did it earlier on in the centre square. They're just being guilty of overusing the ball, trying to be a little bit too clever, the Tigers. It's not the sort of night for finesse.
Fraser and Holland again. Kellaway. Buckley's got him. And he goes again, Bucks.
Well done, Nathan. Well, he's second on the Pies tackle count for the year with 9 at the start of this game. So he's not scared to lay a tackle, which is a great thing he's got into his game over the last couple of years.
Fraser and Holland once more. O'Brien. A chance for O'Brien. Davis to the back.
Interesting to see what sort of angle he gets put on here. Oh, he's been very kind.
Yes.
Been very kind with where he's marked the spot.
Well, I was wondering when he was going to get a touch, because he's been running around out there, running away from play and opponents.
Big kick this. And he's made no mistake as Leon Davis. Collingwood hangs on.
Tell you what, I'd like to have a look exactly where he did take that mark, because going by the way the umpires are supposed to line the player up, they draw a spot where the mark was taken and draw a direct line to the centre of the goal line, and that is the angle you're placed on. Now he has marked that a little bit wider than what I think he actually took the kick from, so it might have been a considerably tighter angle looking back. But good work from Leon Davis, putting himself in the right position.
Well, Collingwood has achieved what it set out to do, and that is score the first goal in the second half.
Fiora gets a run and moves up forward now, comes off the bench.
Young man from Narracourt in the Carry Narracourt League. His dad was a coach. Bowden.
Good awareness.
A little flick over the top, but Lucuria is there. Collingwood surging. Lucuria's kick up to half forward. Watch out, because Leon's lurking in the area again. Dragicevic can't take it. The hand pass may be okay. Cameron's running past, and he takes it now. Wobbly old punt kick, unlike him. Knights still on the defensive side of centre. Goes wide to the outer side and Bowden. A little bit of urgency here. Over the top towards Kellaway. Buckley there as well. Loney, so too also. Hilton. Rory keeps it in play. Bending it back towards the 50. Tigers go in towards the forward pocket region. Smashed clear. Richardson. The hand pass is okay. Campbell. High, wide, and anything but handsome.
He kicked the wrong side of the ball there and probably had a little bit more time up his sleeve as well.
Again, some good work from Matthew Richardson, creating an opportunity for his skipper.
The Tigers are just playing Collingwood at the game which they beat the Western Bulldogs with last week. They're getting numbers across half-back and getting run forward, and at the moment they've just got a couple of more forwards which are more productive than...
Oh, my hat!
And when you put the thumb screws down and pressure, the opposition make mistakes.
Well, I think Rupert Matheris just kicked it off one step. He had a short and a long option, and he found the man in the middle. It just happened to be the opposition in Matthew Knight.
Now, here's a good result for the Tigers here. While they've got Collingwood in a position which they're semi-comfortable with, Brendan Gale comes off for a rest, and he will finish out the game in the last quarter if they're under fire and be the smartest ruckman on the deck and hold up many forward thrusts.
Ray Hall comes on. So,
still a bit proppy, Hall, with that bruised hip that Hutchie talked of.
Knights to reply. Kicking from around 45. Just about extending. Good looking kick. That's a great kick by Matthew Knights, and he answers Collingwood.
Yeah, the breeze, as it looks tonight, while he was looking at the goals there, the breeze would have swung it a little bit from his right to left. Here's Batheris. Now, Batheris is a good player. He's improved himself, but the one thing he still is, he's always been a bit shabby by foot, and he needs a little bit more time than that to actually spot up the target.
"14 possessions for Knights. Gets his first goal. Ball on the ground. Richmond answer. Out of the middle again. Collingwood through Fraser. Bad bounce for Freeborn and also Gaspar. Clean bowls just about the lot, and that included Leon Davis. Gaspar may have to go again. He doesn't. Clement went through. Lost the footy. Buckley, a beautiful hand pass. That was clever play. Flicked across the face of goal and out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
I'll tell you what, if Anthony Rocker had turned around a little bit quicker and run for the ball, I think he could have marked that.
He thought he was
might
dead
have lost
then.
it. Yeah,
I reckon he thought, oh, that's going to clear me for a score.
So,
he misjudged it.
Collingwood deep in their attacking zone. Molloy almost pleading with the umpire.
Can't agree with that.
It's a different rule to when you're actually in a marking competition. Just used it paid for pushing his opponent out of the rucking duel.
Back towards centre wing. Richardson and Ottens. Richardson down towards Johnson. Could have been held. Ottens, Chaffey.
Oh, good hands.
In Morty goes. Gaspar's doing the running. Now he's got him inside 50 once more. No mark taken by Richardson. He drops back though for Campbell to give it back to Chaffey. Richardson screaming for it, but he's ignored and he comes to the other pocket. And that's why he's got the hotel. Hilton.
Again, look, it's funny. It's been that sort of story all night. Matthew Richardson made a very good lead to the open side. Could have been used by Chaffey, but he didn't see him. In the end, he did kick it to the favour of Rory Hilton. It has put him on a tight angle, but it was kicked to his advantage.
Well, this easterly breeze here blowing this evening, it will take it. A little bit of left to right as we look at it, coming over Rory Hilton's shoulder.
when scoring has been difficult, he's found himself with 2 goals next to his name. Whoever uses the ball the best is the most efficient in front of goal will win the game. And at the moment, when you look at 5-9 for Collingwood as opposed to 10-4 for Richmond, it certainly looks like the Tigers. It was a good kick because it was on the right side of the contest for Hilton, but it did put him hard up against the fence. Have a look at this for a finish. That's a beauty.
A little bit lost in the air, Ryan Loney, with that incoming ball.
25 points now the margin. It was 20 points at halftime. 7 minutes left in the quarter. Ray Hall beaten for. Davis out of the middle, up towards his namesake Leon. He's at it now. He's still going, Leon. He had it and then he lost it. Out the back door comes Gaspar. Hurriedly puts boot to ball, gets it up to the half-back line. Rintoul having to give ground. O'Brien under pressure and forced to kick blindly, puts it straight onto the chest of Mates.
Very clever by Marc Chaffee as well. He just corralled Rintoul and let Rintoul put pressure on himself there. If he charged him, Rintoul would have stepped around him.
Yeah, he backed him into a corner, didn't he? And did it well. Campbell in front.
Well, I don't know if that one's there, Sandy, but they have been consistent with it. It's pretty soft. He's got one on in the middle.
And uses him. Is that Raymond?
Raymond
gives it away quickly. A chance for Tivendale. They go for the doctor. And the doctor's home. That run will hurt. Tivendale gets his first.
Well, he's had a pretty good game, Greg Tivendale. 16 possessions. He was good last week. He's followed it up again this week. Another one of those players that is the right player to have the ball in his hands when you're having a running shot for goal. Very good on the left foot and very good penetration. He's kicked that from only a yard outside the square. A particularly good finish and good work again. A good shepherd from Matthew Richardson on the goal line. He's just doing team-orientated things that is helping the team on the scoreboard.
The 11 Richmond goals have come from 9 players. Only 2 multiple scorers, Rory Hilton and Leon Cameron, each with 2. So the danger sign's well and truly up now for the Maggies as Fraser takes it out of the centre, kicks up towards the half-forward line. Big pack of players and a strong mark. Taken by Holland.
Well, they're taking the pain here out of the centre because, they've had 3 centre-bounce takeaways through the agency of Josh Fraser at the moment. The Pies.
Marc not paid to Zilla. I think he thought he had it. So he goes again and gives it to Kellaway. Tumbles an ugly-looking mongrel old punt kick to centre wing, and Richardson will see it over the line.
And down here, O'Brien's been taken off also, so they're just trying to get something going in the midfield at the moment, Collingwood.
Yeah, he came off for a spell. Brodie Holland came on. Also, Davis for Davis. Leon off and Nick on.
Well, this is the best matchup for Collingwood. Josh Fraser against Ray Hall. He's winning them there now.
Loney. This time last week, Collingwood had kicked something like 9 goals at this stage of the third quarter. And kicked 1 goal too.
And Josh Fraser's been good while this bloke was having a breather. And that's the bad news for the Pies. Now, and as soon as he comes on, Josh Fraser runs away from the contest and lets Anthony rock it. So it's all set plans here.
Nothing said about that because that ball is somewhere in the bottom.
I'll tell you who's been good again for the Tigers. He's Mr. Reliable, Darren Gaspar. He's contained Chris Tarrant. I mean, Chris Tarrant's gone on a lot of long searching leads. He's only had the 2 marks and the 4 kicks at the moment for 1 behind.
Been a good player, hasn't he? All-Australian last year, second in the best and fairest. Very good player.
And as Josh Fraser then ran to the right-hand side of the screen, Darren Gaspar on screen there, Josh Fraser ran to be a kick behind play, 50 metres to the right of that contest coming up. Brendan Gale just decided to go with him and give him the contest.
Here's a Zilla had his jumper almost ripped off, but play goes on and Tivendale goes down towards the 50. Good back there inside. Dimartina wants to go and he's told, yes, you can. The advantage is away and he's got someone downfield. Now a chance for Rintoul. He's 80 metres from home, but there's no one down there.
That is
a blind kick and he put it straight down the throat of Kellaway.
He had supporting actors next to him as well.
Oh, my hat. They tease you, don't they, and they taunt you, but it will be okay. They'll come away, smack bang into Joel Bowden in the middle.
They really take that old Lombardi adage, to take no risk is the greatest risk of all, don't they?
Richardson, no risk about that. Caught from behind.
That's a good kick.
Hilton.
Well done, Matthew.
threatening to really set the victory up here. Yeah,
he's just that's just twice this quarter. He mentioned it the first time, Dermott. Ryan Loney, he just got caught watching the ball and then looking for his opponent, losing track of what was going on, and in the end it was too late. And you can just see the dismay on his head.
Hilton for his third as Zilla comes off for a spell and Dragicevic goes back on. Here's Hilton.
Ugly.
He started in a blaze of glory, 10 touches in the first quarter. He went possessionless in the second quarter, but starting to get a bit of it again. He's had 4 touches this quarter.
He found plenty of it when he ran up the field, as we see Anthony Rocker having a spell, a bit of a walk down. He found plenty of it when he ran up the field. As a half forward, he was chasing kicks up around the middle. That was his charter. But since then, he's had to stay at home, Jason, and obviously you find a lot less of it when you are in the action zone at half forward.
Wakeland taking the kick out from Buckley.
Good run.
Up towards the centre wing. Tarkin Lockett just took his eye off at the crucial stage. He tried to recover and slap it further afield, but Campbell and Knights were both there. Lucuria pounces on him.
Oh,
well,
great evasive skills.
That was sensational. Freeborn finishes with it from Brodie Holland. Up towards half forward. Out comes a big pack of players. Tigers have got the numbers there once again. And it's Holland who comes to Chaffey. He can go over the top. He's got a loose player on centre wing. They're holding sway at the moment, the Tigers. This is Aaron Fiora, the youngster from Port Adelaide via the Carrion-Arakwort League, up towards Ottens. Fraser.
Throw against Richardson.
And Richo gesticulating to the umpire saying, this is what I did. All to no avail. Holland's away to the outer side.
Brendan Gale's pushed ahead of this, and Josh Fraser could get used up in the middle if he runs to there, but Brendan Gale is waiting down the line and he forces him out wide.
From Lucuria. Gaspar was at the back. Molloy could have been pulled off the ball. Knights a penetrating hand pass to Kellaway. Here goes Richmond again. Bowden's loose.
He's got Ottens long.
65 out. He spears. He's got Hilton loose as well. And he's still got Ottens if he wants him.
Well, they're at
He's still got Ottens if he wants him.
They were at 6s and 7s, the Collingwood defence. There were loose players everywhere for the Tigers. Ottens deep. Hilton a lot further up the ground, 45 metres out. But you just see Bowden, he had the target, and didn't he hit it very, very well. And the usual change, Duncan Kellaway off, Rogers on, he'll go straight to Buckley.
Hilton for number 3. Missed one 2 minutes ago.
Missed another.
Jason, that changed exactly the same time too, the 25-minute mark exactly of the third quarter, same as the second.
Hilton alone could have buried them in the last 5 minutes, couldn't he?
Still, they virtually have to double their score just to get in front, Collingwood, and they found it hard to put goals on the board tonight. 5
goals in 3 quarters of footy.
Just not getting that same supply from the midfield into the forward line.
Johnson wearing Gavin Brown's jumper towards the Richardson. It came from Batheris. Back to Rupert. Over the top towards Fraser. They've got it down to centre wing. There's a minute and a half remaining in the quarter. Kellaway thought about backpacking into the pack, and he has it now to Bowden.
Rory
in the middle, and Rory's alone. Here goes Hilton.
Richardson on the
Here comes the Richardson lead, and he's away, the big athlete. Can't take it cleanly. Goes again, however. Gets around Loney. Gives away the hand pass. That was better by Richardson. In towards Ottens. Did he cop a shove? No, said the umpire. Fiora's at the back, but he's got a lot of black and white to contend with, and there'll be a bounce.
Some tired footballers involved in that last passage of play.
Dimartino picks himself up. Young Aaron Fiora.
You just get the feeling that Collingwood's plugging holes in the dike at the moment, don't you?
Yeah.
Just waiting for the goals to come.
As Fiora turned 20 yesterday. So hoping to celebrate his birthday with a win here at the MCG tonight. What a thrill it would be for him. Holland's kick towards the half back line is marked by Wakeland.
Stuck to his guns very well on Matthew Richardson.
But they're going to have to find something, aren't they? Holland's kick is interesting. They're going to have to find something. Good work by Richardson. He's showing a ton of aggression. Buckley gets caught. A cry of ball from the yellow and black. They said sail over the line.
Matthew Richardson will probably walk off with very modest stats at the end of the night, but I'm sure his coach Danny Frawley would be exceptionally pleased with the work rate, the effort, and the team-orientated one-percenters that he has consistently done all evening.
Only 7 possessions to him, but you're right, Jason, he really has worked pretty well.
33 points the margin.
Different body shape here now for him.
Bowden. Caught. Not before he got the hand pass away tonight. Still was winning to the ground. Set on his buttocks as the siren sounds. And Collingwood have got some thinking to do at three-quarter time as Mick Malthouse makes his way to his charges. They've managed just 5 goals in 3 quarters, and they've come from 5 individuals. Just the one in that term, and that was from Leon Davis, who gave them an early spark, but little else. Richmond, on the other hand, had goals from Rory Hilton, Greg Tivendale, and Matthew Knights and Danny Frawley, and be relatively optimistic as he makes his way down to his team. So three-quarter time, and it is Richmond holding sway. 11 goals, 6-72, leading Collingwood 5-9-39. As we commence the final quarter, Richmond in a strong position, leading by 33 points. Josh Fraser couldn't get a handle on it. Benny Gale has led the Richmond big man department and led them extremely well. Here's Shane O'Brien looking to give Collingwood the first score of the final quarter, and that's what they need. Slap towards Davis. Leon, oh, you've given it to the wrong man. Straight towards Hilton. Buckley now intercepts. He's been well controlled tonight. Hasn't been able to get into the game. Molloy had his name and number taken earlier on in the evening, and he will front the tribunal.
Well, he looks like he's going to occupy the square, Jarrod Molloy, and James Clement, the other one, taking a bigger role on the forward line. Darren Gaspar has now gone onto him.
33 points the margin. Molloy, it was a bounce that favoured him. Davis, an opportunity, may have to soccer off the ground, leaves it. Holland, a snap by Brodie. Has got it, they're still there.
Well, that was the perfect start as far as the Pies go and as far as the match goes, if you're just watching it from a purely spectator's point of view, just hoping for a good, close game, because it just puts them in touch if they do get a run on. Good work from Davis, just following the ball along, the quick handball out, and just manages to thread the needle. Brodie Holland, a good little snap. He did look dangerous earlier on in the night, has spent some time on the bench, but he's back on. He's had 12 possessions, kicked his first goal.
Well, now they've got to keep it going. This is what they did in the third quarter with Leon Davis. Came into the game with an early goal, but that was virtually it. Here's Benny Gale.
Tigers playing a 5-man forward line, so they're going to try and block up Collingwood's opposing forward line.
Gale wins it to Campbell, but the umpire said no. Smacker, and he can't believe it.
That's just clever ruck work, I reckon.
He cannot believe it. He continues to ask as Wakeland sends Collingwood down towards the half-forward line. Molloy paddling away from Gaspar, who's done a grand job.
Let's have a look at that one again, Sandy. Runs at the ball and uses the body.
He had his eyes on the ball, Brendan Gale, and got absolutely stitched by the umpire.
Gets under the drop of the ball, but kept his feet on the ground, and within your rights to ask that one, Brendan.
Looked like Julius Sumner Miller when he said, "Why is it so?" Hilton towards centre wing. Gale again. He slapped
that for a backhand scoop.
That towards Bowden. Joel kicks it parallel with the boundary line. Buckley appreciates the Otten hand pass. Can't believe his luck. Up towards half-forward. Holland comes over the top. Can't take the mark. Waiting down is Bowden. Receives it now and spirals a punt kick back towards Ottens. Had front spot. Kellaway lurking there as well. And so too is young Fiora. Fiora kicks in towards the 50. Which way will the bouncing ball go? Tigers have possession. Dragicevic got some toe. Oh, look at this. No! Richard just pulls it into one hand. Plays on, and can he finish it off? Oh, sea of yellow and black hits the deck.
He's played himself into trouble there, Richard. He went out wide looking for the short pass inboard, found himself out there with nobody to kick to, and the umpire's call played on. So he thought, oh, well, I'll just act semi-instinctively. Sure did.
Loney.
Oh, well done.
Kellaway, geez, done a good job.
But that's a great contest there. A little bit of frustration against Nathan there, but let's have a look at the Richardson mark here. Yeah, it's going through. No, it's not. I'll take it myself. And here, looks inboard and starts veering out now to look for a short. None on offer. You're off, Matthew. The umpire calls.
Matheris to Lockyer. Runs across half-back, then gives it away to Nick Davis. Sneaks away from Knights. Dimatina, nice pick-up virtually now, and he's got possession. He kicks from Molloy. Down towards full forward. Oh, there's a goal! They're still there! Brodie Holland's got another one! Molloy, Dimatina and Holland all combining to get number 7. They won't lie down.
Well, it took a small man up forward in Brodie Holland to take the mark and kick the goal, which is it's just been indicative of the night. Molloy again playing in front, attacking, the long kick coming in from Dimatina. But I've got to say, you just get the feeling that the Collingwood fans have been waiting for something to get their hopes up again. All of a sudden, 2 in a row. It gets them within 4 goals and plenty of time left on the clock.
.21 points the margin. Collingwood hitting back. Campbell almost taken high. Eventually forced to kick over his head. The bouncing ball eluded them all. Chance for Nick Davis.
Great tackle.
Sensational tackle, and he's not rewarded. O'Brien back towards the middle. Gale, not a spoiler on this occasion. Fraser marks.
Collingwood's forward line is working a lot better with just the one tall option being Jarrod Molloy. He's got more room to move. Clement's there as well, but he's more of a running type forward flanker.
Fraser heads towards the 50. In fact, his target was Clement.
Wrong option there. Molloy went out the other way. They've got to go to Molloy every time now.
Kellaway towards Tivendale. Back towards Ottens. Clean bowled. Richardson behind. Takes them on for pace. And away he goes. Rintoul prepares to come back out onto the ground. It's down in Molloy territory. Freeborn is there as well. So too Leon Davis. And Johnson. Johnson tried to flick it out to Davis. Here's Leon! Yes! They're still alive!
Boy, is there a spring in the step of the Collingwood players now. They have all come alive, and it's all to do with the different forward setup. They've gone small. They've just got Molloy as the main option. Richmond have changed their defensive structure. Gaspar's gone on to Molloy. Kellaway's gone on to Clement. Kellaway had doing the job on Molloy, but now the small players are running right. First Brodie Holland, now Leon Davis. And has it brought the Pies fans into the game?
Well, they say they brought all the factions together at Collingwood. Typically, we got the Adams family and the Munsters all together under the one banner now.
Speak of Dermott Brereton.
But they love it, don't they?
It's not over yet, though, boys. Let's just see what happens out of the centre. Gale and Fraser. Leon Davis has given them a bit of spark with a couple of goals. Hilton and Knights towards Bowden. Suddenly, Collingwood has found a metre or two. They're pumped up. Which way is this one going to bounce? Again, away from Richardson towards Wakeland. He keeps it in play. Just towards O'Brien, who's got a little more time and space. Numbers. In towards the centre he can go. A tired Knights chasing Lucuria. Pops it over the top towards Rintoul. He's just come back out on the ground. Well smothered, but lacks the fortune. Comes to Fraser. Kicks under pressure towards full forward. Now pressure on the Tiger defence. Hilton gives it away once more to Cameron. Leon says, let's settle this down and let's head out of here. To the outer side he goes, and Kellaway.
Torney came off during the last goal. They've gone a bit smaller in the back line again, the Tigers.
Some tired players out there. Matthew Knights with hands on hips. Campbell gets caught. Not before he gets it away to Bitterscott.
Oh, look at this.
He looks up towards the half-forward line. Now they got some loose players. Here's Fiora loose, but he elects to go long.
Yeah.
He could have gone to Fiora. Instead, Davis sees it drift over the line, and we've got a throw in the right forward pocket.
And he just puts the hand up and apologises because he realises he picked the wrong option. He had Aaron Fiora in a bit of space, but unfortunately couldn't find him. Matheris, the man doing the job on Wayne Campbell at the moment. O'Brien, Hilton. That's an interesting one.
Right forward pocket, and we've got a throw in for the Tigers. Richardson almost a high tackle.
It is interesting, Rory Hilton going into the midfield against Shane O'Brien. They probably thought they've gone a little bit flat there, a little bit tired there, and even though Rory's got a fair few possessions up forward, he still could finish with a bit of running in the midfield.
15 points the margin, just under 15 minutes remaining. Out of the problem zone, back towards centre wing. Collingwood free kick.
Things are happening for the Pies.
Suddenly it's changed, hasn't it?
Molloy's there should be the target here.
Might come in more to Buckley. It elects to go longer towards the D9.
He's paid the hole.
He just runs at the ball and demands it, doesn't he?
He's 70 out. Davis is at the back, providing the small man compartment, but Cameron.
That's the change.
Is reliable and brings it back towards Fiore. Now he's clear towards Bowden on centre wing. Joel Bowden, some fancy work, goes back in towards the centre. Hilton was going past, but Kellaway says no, we'll go back and take the kick. He heads up towards the left half forward flank. Could have almost been a free kick, a tackle.
Now look, I don't reckon that is a free kick, but with consistency,
have a look at it again.
Compared to what has happened, consistency, that's touch and go.
Paid it earlier in the night,
yeah, they did, but still by the rules of what we all play under, it's not a free kick, but you want consistency.
Campbell's kick smothered. Kellaway holding it up.
You know what? I just reckon you'd hate them to run out of their own time, but the Tigers would probably be better at just running down the clock a little bit here to regain a bit of composure.
There you can see i7 Sport. A reminder, if you want tickets for the Essendon-Collingwood match on Anzac Day, you can buy your tickets online at i7sport.com.au.
Get in quick, I'm suggesting.
Quite right, because it could well be a sellout.
That's too high. Definitely there, that one.
Fraser. He's on the half-back flank.
And while we were doing the I7 promo there, Sandy, we saw Matthew Richardson having a rest on the bench.
And now we've got Waitland. Oh, too far!
Just the indecision cost him. He changed the option that he was going to go to a couple of times, and with Richardson off Wakeland, his opponent comes off as well, Dermott, after that.
So Richo stands up and he's going to return now.
Runner Gavin Brown was right there to greet him, the former skipper.
Fraser! And Richardson waiting to come back on. Shane Wakeland standing right next to him.
Gale's on the verge of getting a bit of cramp too. He's on the mark. He has cramped up, Benny. To centre wing, Gaspar, the effective spoiler from behind. Batheris, the hand pass towards Lucuria. He gets caught, needs the assistance of Johnson, and has it now. Swings that left foot straight down the throat of Rory Hilton.
Well, they're getting numbers to the ball now, Collingwood, and Richmond are trying to counteract that with numbers behind the ball for where the kick's going.
It's what you call clean mould for Kellaway, and Clement might make him pay.
Well, that's a crucial mistake. Andrew Kelleher just took his eye off the ball. He had the player running in support. I think it was Dragicevic coming inside.
Who?
Andrew Kellaway?
You said Kelleher, didn't you?
I hope I said Kellaway, Dermott, but correct. I apologise if I did say it's Andrew Kellaway.
Very good.
Just made the mistake, unfortunately, and Richardson back on and Wakeland going back to pick him up. They would have been away, the Tigers, but now Clement with a shot for goal.
Starts it to the right. Stays there. 14 points is the margin.
It could come down to just the odd mistake that makes the difference tonight too.
11 points. Collingwood's kicked 3 goals in the quarter. Richmond at the moment. Is that right? Richmond has not scored this quarter.
Nope.
Oh, well done.
He's been good, Chaffey.
Yeah.
Very good tonight.
Richo had that easy shot on goals, remember? And you're setting yourself up for a 3-0.
Not at all. Not at all.
He has been, though. And
He's got on top of Rintoul.
There's another one who's been pretty good too. Gaspar to Kellaway.
Oh, he's been very good, Gaspar.
To left half forward. Holland, no one near him. He can go. Buckley closes, but he elects to chip short. And
it's gone against Richardson for holding.
Oh, he can't take a trick.
That is stiff, and it's coming right back to where play was when the infringement occurred.
So, no, Wakely, you've got to come back, and he'll kick from almost down at centre wing.
It's almost like a 50-metre penalty from where he was, because that's where the ball, in fact, was. Where it was just Richardson battling to get away from Wakelin on the lead, and the umpire just happened to ping him when he was pushing off, or just throwing Wakelin out of the way. Yep.
So Buckley goes over centre wing now, and Freeborn has it.
Big Richo's pushed down from centre half back.
14 points the margin. Up towards the 50. No mark taken. Gaspar on the last line of defence gives it to Hilton, off to Bowden. He's running out of room here. Campbell has taken over the line.
Well, there's a
push, is it?
No.
Throw it in.
They're feeling the pressure at the moment, I've got to say, but you just think if the Tigers can kick one to break the momentum, it'll probably be enough just to set them up for the win.
Been a while, though, since their last goal, Jess.
Yep. 20 minutes into the third quarter.
Stephen Ziller picking himself up. Spent time on the bench. Time at the moment is not a problem. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Gaspar plucks it out of the air. Almost dropped it. Over the line, and another throw.
And this scrappy play certainly won't bother the Tigers at the moment. They'll just keep locking it up, forcing rucks and throw-ins and that sort of thing. As we look at the crowd, Sandy.
78,638. I think that's a new record for these two clubs. 78,638. Rintoul couldn't take it cleanly. Demartina has a bit of daylight. He goes in towards full forward. Collingwood needs a mark. Gaspar. Molloy! Goes again. Socket off the ground, but it was touched and it's a behind. Desperate play by both sides.
So you just thought that Jarrod Molloy was going to run through and have people hanging off him there.
And drag them all to the goal line. But, Gaspar with a lunging tackle, and Ziller on hand to tap it through.
Yep. Holland a target. One hand to it. And finds the line. Rory Hilton there with him.
At the moment, it's just hard to see Richmond getting that goal that'll set them up. They don't have only one player in there attacking 50, and they just can't get it down there.
Ottens has completely gone out of the game at half forward, so he's not even there anymore.
Having arrested Dermott.
Goes again for Lucuria, and once more finishes with O'Brien. Short up towards Fraser, going past is Rintoul. Well, he tried to get past. Demartina goes back to Fraser. They're getting there ever so slowly. He goes in towards the pocket, and the mark is taken. Davis marks right on the boundary line.
He'll fancy himself from here.
He's a brilliant kick, but he will dead set bring the grandstand down if he threads it from there.
You're right.
And a couple of leaning over the fence, letting him know about it.
Wouldn't there be some advice given at the moment? In the meantime,
it's a 50-minute penalty.
Oh, dear.
Against Ziller on Brodie Holland at half forward there.
Well, this could be a turning point in the game.
Now, does it bring him round in front of goal? It does.
Well, he was inside 50, so yeah.
Mind you, he would have been kicking from about 50 out when it happened, so a gift goal.
A gimme goal. Davis gets it. Collingwood hangs on. Nick Davis gets his second goal. He kicked one in the first.
Things getting very tight, and I would like to be a fly on the wall in the Richmond box at the moment. I think they'd be wondering where their next goal is going to come from and who's going to provide it for them. Ottens has come back on. He's gone into the ruck in the middle of the ground. They just need someone to push the ball forward.
Back in 1977, 92,500 fans saw these two sides battle it out in a home and away clash. We've got almost 79,000 here, and it's only round 4.
Now, I know people will say from everywhere I was there that day, but I was one who was there that day.
Where?
Yep, came along to that one.
77. Okay, important out of the middle. Buckley off to Johnson. Collingwood have the momentum towards Richardson.
He's a thumping kick. I don't reckon he can make it from here, but he'll at least put it in a real hot zone.
He's got Molloy one out.
And here he comes, here he comes!
Well, this is amazing. This could reduce the margin to 1 point. You wouldn't have believed it at three-quarter time. The Tigers were home and hosed. The one thing Molloy has had is a bit of a problem in front of goal tonight. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. Should have kicked 3 straight. Boy, does he need this one. The roar of the crowd will tell us.
Directly in front, 40 metres out.
Kicks him when it matters.
He's got it. This is unbelievable. He's got his second. Collingwood have kicked as many goals so far in this quarter as they had in the first 3.
They have stopped to an absolute walk, the Tigers. They just can't get their hands on the footy. They're getting dominated out of the middle, which hasn't happened all night. And you can just see the crowds come into it. The players are feeling the pressure. And a great pass from Richardson. Terrific pass into Molloy.
The Tigers by a point after they started this final quarter leading by 33.
I reckon the phone calls coming out of the Richmond hierarchy box there down to the bench saying just how bad is Brendan Gale, because when he's out of the centre, Collingwood take it away.
Fraser looking for someone again. Socket out of the air up towards the half-forward line, but chopped off by Batheris.
He just attacked the ball.
Rupert's away, off to Wakeland.
But nobody to kick to.
So he's got to run, and he got caught just a couple of minutes ago. Didn't have too many options either then as Cameron swings around. Kicks back to half-forward, but straight onto the chest of Batheris again. He gives it away to Loney. Collingwood finishing full of running.
They've just got no one upfield to kick to. That's what the problem is at the moment.
Yeah, they all clutch back to the half-back line to give support.
A great pick-up.
That's a great pick-up by Richardson on the half volley. Swings around now, looks to half-forward. Otten's the spoiler from behind. No, he's got the height and takes the mark.
First touch in the spoil. There's Brendan Gale on the bench. Dragicevic next to him. And it's going to be tough to score here. Richardson, if he can get a super long kick over.
Here's Cameron. Richardson, the fly. He recovers well. Pops it over the top to Hilton. Went one way, then the other. Chips it out in front of Broderick. Put it on your boot. And he does. The Tigers steady. Broderick gets the goal.
Now, Dermott, I've got to tell you, I thought they'd made a mess of that. Hilton could have handballed first to his right.
Never doubted the boys.
Then I thought he was going to handball inside to his left, but he went the chip kick. And then when Paul Broderick did get on the end of it, I thought he was going to take too long. Have a look at Hilton here. He could go either side. He's got players everywhere. And then he decides to kick instead of handball. And did he take a while, Paul Broderick?
Well,
Dermott's got his wish. Brendan Gale back on the ground.
But he's not in the middle.
No.
Broderick's got the goal. That's important for Tiger fans. There you can see the centre breaks. Fraser again out of the middle. Down to half-forward. Can Collingwood answer? Here's the D9. He's a long way from home. 55, he's gone for the dock. They need a flyer at the back, and they don't get it. Gee, he's been good. Very, very good is Leon.
18th possession coming up. 6 marks.
Been very good, Leon Cameron.
Several of them contested. He's got Andrew Kellaway out here who can go.
Game number 195, so he's about to join the 200 club as Leon Cameron. Kellaway, clever kick. I think he wouldn't have minded if Chaffey had let that one go, but that's also a pretty good one.
Oh, that's a great kick from Marc.
Gaining each kick gaining 35 to 40 metres each. 7 points in it, 5.5 minutes remain.
Well, Brendan Gale's pushed to the goal square, and they could only cover him with James Clement from the Collingwood half-forward line. So that's altered the Collingwood forward line setup.
A couple of good tackles by Knights. It spills free to Chaffey.
That's good.
Goes down towards left half-forward. Richardson in front of Wakeland.
Stayed in.
Watch out for Fiora.
Oh. If he could have kept his feet, he probably would have been there to pounce on it. Did well to use his body to get Loney out of the contest.
This is where the Pies need to get plenty of support numbers back here, and you can see Tarkin Lockyer, that's their team plan, saying get back here, give us support around the throw-in, and we'll run it out of here. That's the theory.
Batheris, the hand pass. Oh, didn't travel too far. Where's Bowden? Bowden, what can you do? Around the body he goes and over the top. The mark is not taken by Richard.
Gee, opportunities everywhere. Bowden in the end went for the snap over the head. Richard tried for the diving mark, and in the end it came off Wakeland's knee and went out of bounds.
Is the Richardson knee okay? We'll keep an eye on that. Gale wanted to pluck it out of the air, but not successful. Lockyer gets it away to Johnson. Now they can get a break. Maybe. Up towards the centre of the ground. Tigers again, having the numbers. Come back once more. That's a clever kick. A clever kick, and Smacker Gale, as he's affectionately known by the players, will go back and have a shot.
The experienced players there, Jason, like Brendan Gale, just read the depth of the kick under pressure coming in, and
the left foot from Matty Rogers was brilliant.
Yeah, and he planted it into that space as well, but he's doing the job on Buckley now, 24-minute mark, so he's probably just moved on to him. Fresher legs there, but Gale just read that one, knowing your teammate's ability.
He read it well, Dermott, but did you see the mark? Hit him flush on the goal. Hit him flush on the bush.
He got the 3 purchase points on his hand and gone.
Let's see what he does from 48 metres.
He's quite good.
Go across the face. Here's Broderick again. Broderick! That could be it.
Well, there's Danny. Danny Frawley on screen. Rips the top off of Mount Franklin and just takes a long guzzle.
I tell you what, there's a mistake made there by the Collingwood defence. Too many of them just believed that it was going to go through. They thought he was within kicking range. It was a poor kick, and there's too many of them standing up, filling the space. Not enough of them back. Broderick's there on his own without an opponent. He could have raffled it.
They let it come inboard, didn't they?
They had to get back once Gale took the kick for goal. They had to flood back with the ball.
The best result, even better than a Collingwood mark on the line there, would have been to force it through for a point. You get space and you get the ball usage, and you can run it the length.
One moment there's a point the difference. A couple of minutes later, there's 13 points.
Well, Josh Fraser's having a few takeaways out of the centre square tonight when he's not opposed to Brendan Gale. He had the last one. Let's see what he does this time.
Really come into it in the last quarter, Josh Fraser.
Knights. The look-away hand pass is okay.
Well done.
Tigers have steadied, haven't they, just in the last couple of minutes.
Rupert.
That was well done by Batheris because he had to take on a couple. Just gets his kick in time. Down towards half-forward. Cameron, a lack of talking with Zilla. Cameron goes again. Zilla is there to assist him. Gets a hurried kick, finding the line. Chaffee has it over.
Just no talk between Zilla and Leon Cameron, two players from different teams that have come to the Tigers. I'd love to know how Leon Cameron actually got the ball to Stevens. It looked like a one-hand palm.
I reckon Wally Lewis would have been happy with that.
From the throw-in. Ottens back into the Tiger lineup this week. 9 kicks, 5 hand passes, 7 marks for Brad Ottens. Fraser feeling the effects of a torrid night. It's still going. Ottens. Away he goes. Away he goes. This fine athlete charges out of the middle. Buckley gives chase, but it's not enough. And he steals the pass into the half-forward line. Fiordo takes him out.
Now, how many ruckmen are there in the competition that can burst out of a contested ruck-up, have 3 bounces, a ball up in the ruck, but have 3 bounces, bouncing it with one hand at one stage? Look at that.
Yeah. I think you'd have to go back to the...
And then deliver a pass.
Yeah, you have to go back to the days of Mick Nolan or Johnny Ironmonger to see
the
that.
gas. That's brilliant athleticism and skill.
We're talking about Mick's gut bouncing along as he runs.
Can Fiordo finish it off?
He is a good kick, this fella.
The young man who turned 20 yesterday. Kicking from 55. Will struggle with the distance. It's away to the right. There's no mark to Campbell.
Notice that Campbell has been out of the centre square for the majority of this quarter as well.
And Batheris has done a very good job. Look at this. Have a look at the way he clutches it like an apple in one hand at this next bounce. Look at that.
Good trust of his teammates too to give him the initial shepherd.
Yep.
He fatigued a bit on the kick.
That's great to see though, isn't it?
Yep.
Great to see. Lockyer. Time now becoming an enemy of Collingwood's. Couple of minutes left. Lucuria.
You'd think they could slow it down from here, the Tigers.
Looks towards the middle. The bouncing ball eluded them all. Smack bang in the centre. Holland had it, lost it, goes to ground. Buckley there as well.
Neon.
Davis tries to get out. Buckley goes again. Somehow finds some space, kicks up towards the forward line. Is this the last chance for the Pies? Molloy off the ground, partly smothered, and it's over. "14 points after the Tigers led by 33 at the final change. Buckley taken out of it. The Holland hand pass is going to be okay. Bitterscombe goes further afield and gives it to the skipper. Campbell's away to Tivendale on the outer side. Kicked the goal in the third quarter, did Greg Tivendale, and he bounced his way across the half-back line. Spears it into Ottens. Will he go again? No, he gives it to the running Broderick. Broderick with his lightning left foot, and he passes a beauty into Bowden, who will have a shot directly in front.
Great lead from Joel Bowden. He really did explode off the mark. He put a space of about 5 metres on Tarkin Lockyer, and as soon as Broderick saw that, he knew that was the spot to kick it. He just opened up a break. You could see Lockyer straining to keep up, but just didn't have the same explosive acceleration of Joel Bowden.
And Anthony Rocker replaces Marc Richardson for the Pies, and well, he's dropped away a bit again. Anthony, 9 possessions for the night and no marks.
Bowden then. Kicking from 48 metres. Away to the left for Joel, who kicked a goal in the first quarter. He's had a couple of opportunities, but it matters not. Richmond will get the 4 premiership points. They lead by 15 points.
Good result for the Tigers. 3 wins from their first 4 outings.
Buckley off as Clement's kick goes wide to the outer side. As Rory Hilton picks himself up. He's kicked a couple of goals. Probably could have kicked 4. And Danny Frawley, as Dermott said, seeing a pretty solid start to the season. Wins over Melbourne and Brisbane. And now adding Collingwood to the list is Nick Davis. Marks in the centre of the ground. Gives it off to Tarkin Lockyer. Lockyer, a somewhat tentative bounce. Looks towards the half-forward line. The spoil on O'Brien not effective, and Shane O'Brien can go back 50 out. Distance will test him, so he spears a pass in towards Tarrant. And the Tigers record a fighting victory here at the MCG.
Well, Ritzo had a word to Wakeland there and didn't really go back to shake the hand.
Well, while the fans celebrate Dermott, he's still going to take the kick, I think.
It's an important kick because Collingwood will be thereabouts. The best they can hope to be is fringe of the 8, so percentage could play a big key, and that ain't going to help him.
No, there'll be no addition to the score. So all over, and the Tigers home by 15 points. In a pretty interesting contest. They look home at 3/4 time, and then Collingwood came with a run, and what a run it was. Let's go down to the ground. Here's Hutchie.
And we're with Darren Gaspar. Darren, for a game we dominated so much, there were some nervous times in the last quarter.
Yeah, they came back pretty hard. We sort of knew they'd come back, but I guess we didn't think they'd come back that hard, and I guess we can take away, we sort of got the last 2 goals of the game, which was good.
Important, wasn't it, the last 15 minutes to steady up when you got the possession of the footy?
Yeah, I think the boys really steadied after the Broderick got that quick goal, and I think we've got our confidence back, and it just went on from there, I think.
And Chris Tarrant, he's been the informed half-forward of the competition. He must have put a lot of work into your game tonight to subdue him that well.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good start to the year, so I knew it was a big job, so the pressure was on, I guess.
And 3 wins from 4 games now. Is Richmond arriving as a force in the AFL?
Well, I guess we just take 1 week at a time, as they say, and we just look to try to be consistent and do the right things week in, week out.
Congratulations on your own game. Well done, the Tigers.
Yes, it's a good start, isn't it? 3 out of 4, and they've beaten Brisbane, who many thought would be a force this year. They've beaten Melbourne, who played in last year's grand final.
Makes it even a more meritorious start to the season, doesn't it?
This crowd of 78,638 here tonight. and black triumph.
Yeah, they only got played over for what, a 15-20 minute patch in the last quarter. First half sorted itself out. Slight ascendancy to Richmond. Third quarter, they were a much better team. Fell a bit flat in the last quarter. Danny Frawley, you told him he was going to end up with a 15-point margin at the start of the night. He'd say, I'd take that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been happy 10 minutes to go in the last quarter, though, when it got back to a one-point margin, would he?
Yeah. There's a big fella.
Danny. Hutchie there as well.
Always a good sign, though, when a team can lead comfortably and then be challenged, get right back to the brink of giving up a game that they never should have and then kick away again. I think that's a good sign as well.
This is, I reckon, if you take your own club song of any club that you know in the league, take your own out of it, because that's what everybody likes the best. I reckon this is the best club song of everyone in the league.
The part you like most is coming up right now.
Now.
That's it. Tigers home here at the MCG.
Those last two goals from Paul Broderick were enough for Richmond to get home. Cameron and Hilton also kicked two. Nick and Leon Davis booted two for the Pies, as did Molloy and Brodie Holland. But Richmond getting home 13-8, 86 to 10-11, 71. Another match tonight, which was played between Essendon and Sydney, 15-12, 102. The Bombers defeating Sydney 6-19, 55. Very wet conditions at the SCG, and that means that the Bombers are back on top of the ladder. They weren't away for long, were they? The Swans also on 3-1. The Tigers going up to 3-1 to join them at the top of the ladder on 12 points. Well, other matches to be played to complete round 4. Carlton and Adelaide at Optus Oval. Should be a good one. The Blues favoured there. The Dogs and the Lions at Colonial Stadium. And then Fremantle and the West Coast and Port Adelaide and St Kilda rounding out tonight's action at Football Park. Tomorrow, on Sunday, it's Geelong and the Kangaroos from Shell Stadium, and then Hawthorn versus Melbourne at the MCG. So some more great action to come as part of round 4. Hope you've enjoyed all the action, a big doubleheader. Good morning.